Hey everybody, it's Chav, Nobody Else's Auto. It is 7 o'clock Sunday evening, time for Sunday night live chat. Getting connected on both formats. As always, I am live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, so hopefully everything is connecting and working and like we hope it will, in theory. So looks like we are live on both formats as of right now. As always, questions, comments, be sure to throw them up as we work through the chat. Be happy to address them. That's what this is all about, is a bunch of us hanging out, talking about old cars and having a good time. So anyway, give everybody a few seconds to get their notifications to know that we are on live and ready to go for this evening's chat. Still getting error messages on YouTube, or on Facebook, excuse me. So we'll see how that works. Norma's on. Lee from New York is on. Jeff from Canada is here with us. Alec from New Hampshire is on Facebook. So both formats at this point are working. So we'll see how things go. Shopcat's on, says hit that like button. Appreciate it. Pete's on with us. Looks like everybody's starting to get their notifications. Glenn from Minnesota. Amy's on. Charles is on. And it looks like things are starting to tick along. Got a few people jumping on Facebook as well. So Tweedly D made it tonight. And what's been going on? Lots of things been going on. It's been actually somewhat of a relaxing week for me, except I got a lot of catching up to do because I was gone. So Bill's on with us. Dennis is on. I didn't buy any cars, Bill. I didn't buy anything. Scott's on with us on Facebook from Hot Texas. Dennis, Gary. Nope, you haven't missed the Hudson badge yet, but we can go ahead and get rolling with it if you're ready, Gary. Shopcat got his 48 Iron Horse running today. That's always good. Always feels good when you get something to fire up. Pete missed me in Tulsa. Yeah, you should have given me a call, Pete. I had my phone with me the whole time. So Brian dispatched like the stuff from Mecum. Bud's on. Steve's here. There you go, Gary. We're ready to go. Let's see. Jay, inner fenders for a 53 Chevy pickup. I should still have some of those, Jay. If you want to give me a shout tomorrow, I'll get them on my list and double check and see on that. But anyway, I had a good time at Mecum. Like I said, I left Tuesday, so I was gone a good chunk of the week, so I got a lot of catching up to do. But a lot of things happened. Obviously, had a great time at Mecum. We'll get into that a little bit too. Sam's here with us with the Easy Rider Fan Club. Kenny's on. Hi to all the nobodies out there. But went down to Tulsa on Tuesday because, but actually before we get too deep, we better go ahead and go through our housekeeping stuff here real quick now that we've got a lot of people on. As always, please keep an eye on your autocorrect. If I can't read your comment or can't make out your comment because autocorrect started changing words for you, I'll skip it and go to the next guy. So please check your autocorrect before you hit send. If you're on the Nobody's Show page on Facebook, I cannot see those comments. You'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook because this video is shared from that page, or the Nobody Show YouTube channel. If you want to comment, participate in the auctions, participate in trivia, you'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show channel on YouTube. If you just want to watch and hang out, you're fine on the Nobody Show page on Facebook, but I cannot see those comments. As always, trolls, you guys are great at running trolls off. I will ignore them. That's what they want, is my attention. Just because they don't get any from their mommy and they don't want to get out of the basement, I'm going to ignore them. And you guys have helped me out with that. I don't want to make this, subscription or subscriber only or membership only. But if it gets to the point where we have to, we will. But you guys help me out with that. I appreciate it. You make sure they know they're not welcome, and that helps tremendously. So, and if we have trolls bidding on auction stuff, I will ignore them at that point as well also. Please throw a share out there. If you want to throw a share out there, let your friends know that we're on so that they can jump on with us and hang out. That would be awesome. Super chats, always love those as well. When you guys throw those up, those are super cool. Like, still amazes me you do, but you guys do hit me with them, and it's awesome to help support what we're doing there. You guys are looking a little thirsty. Barry from Georgia is on with us. Jay from Poconos, Pennsylvania on Facebook. Bill, you didn't spend any Jess's money. We'll have to see. We'll see what Jess wants to say, whether we did or not. Jay from North Carolina. Mr. PFF, manual correct. That's right. David W. is here with us. So lots of you back with us again. As always, amazes me that you guys keep coming back and hanging out. Jason's on with us too. I know Jason's waiting on that. So anyway, lots of stuff going on this week. Lots of stuff coming up. So let's get into some of that. Obviously, we went to Tulsa on Tuesday. Went to Auburn Cord Duesenberg and hung out with Doug Prey again. Love going down and seeing Doug. Great guy. We've become good friends. And that place is so awesome. James is on with us. Jason's ready to go. Bill says hit the like button. Appreciate that. Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I know a lot of you guys have heard it, but yeah, believe it or not, the company still exists. They still do restorations. They can custom build replacement parts like sheet metal for some of these cars that are unavailable. They have all the new old stock parts from the factory when it closed, when Glenn Prey bought them back in the 60s. The inventory that is left, they still have it on the shelf ready to service cars with. So love going down there and had a great time. Love seeing Doug. Love seeing the projects that are in the shop because this stuff is so cool. Auburn boat-tail speedsters, Auburn Phaetons and convertibles. Cord. There was a supercharged Cord Roadster in there. I mean, just phenomenal, amazing stuff. So love going down there. And checking out what's going on because there's so much cool stuff there. But what did we do while we were there? Bill Alderman finally got on, had internet issues. Great, glad you made it. We did do some videos with Doug, as always. And, if you didn't catch those from last year when we were down there, did some videos, you definitely want to go back and look at those. These cars are stunning. They're amazing. They're beautiful. The parts stuff, it's so cool. We did a parts video. We did a video on a custom Cord speedster that he's got there. Did a video on a bunch of Cord projects. Did a shop tour video on some of the stuff they're working on. All those are in the can. Can't wait to share those with you. And always have a great time there. And then, as a lot of you know, I always end up buying stuff I don't need. However, and that stuff is rare. It's the Cord and Auburn stuff is rare. It's expensive. But I did buy some stuff and I did get a few extra pieces that I am going to sell. We'll have a few pieces that we'll auction and I will build the next raffle will probably be an Auburn raffle bundle of stuff that, some of the stuff is still on the shelf, but there's getting down to a very, very few pieces of it on the shelf. So that will probably be the July raffle will be the Auburn bundle from the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company. But like I said, I've got those videos shot. And as always, we had a great time, but this stuff is just so great. I mean, you just don't see this stuff. And that's what makes it amazing. Plus what you learn about those type of cars when you're there. So let's see. What are we at? We got lots of comments popping up. See. The bathroom fan hanging up, says Bill. Yeah, yep. Something you can hang it whoever wins it can hang it wherever they want. So Pete, top car at Tulsa, in my opinion, was the Buick station wagon. I'm not sure which one you're talking about on that, Pete. Exactly which one we were talking about, I'd be curious. But let's see. Hudson badge. So, obviously, Auburn Cord Duesenberg stuff coming up. So, you'll definitely want to catch that stuff. And if you didn't catch the stuff last year, if you weren't on here with us last year, we did a bunch of video while we were there last year. You'll definitely want to go back and check some of that stuff out. It's still on the channel. Auburn Cord Duesenberg Fat Company, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And go back and watch those videos if you missed them. And we got some new ones that will be coming up soon. Plus, there's a few pieces to auction, not much, because like I said, this stuff is not cheap. But I did not want to have a few pieces of original Auburn that we could auction off as well as the prize pack for the raffle next month. Mike's on with us. Alex said the raffle piece is looking good back there too. So OP says the 65 Buick Sport Wagon. Yeah, and I thought that car was cool when I went down there, but I actually didn't like it when I saw it in person. I don't like those huge tires and tire and wheel package with the rubber band tires on them and on airbags. Dad bought a 61 Biscayne wagon at Mecum, Kansas City a couple years ago that was set up that way, and he hated that car. Car looked great, but didn't ride very well. The tires were hard, tires were hard on anytime you hit a bump in it. The airbags were a pain in the butt. So, yeah, I mean, it looked good in pictures, but that car really didn't do much for me when I saw it in person. I do like those sport wagons, but I just didn't like what they had done to that particular car personally. So, But anyway, so after Auburn Cord Duesenberg, obviously we went to Mecum Tulsa for all 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We kicked out of there about 3 yesterday. William's on with us. Glad you made it. Pete says glad he didn't buy it. Yeah, and they wanted a ton of money for it because they ran it to about 40 or so and didn't cut it. So I don't know what they wanted for it, but it was it must have been quite a bit. Hudson badge. But like I said, I mean, some people like that stuff. Me personally, it's not my cup of tea, especially after Dad fought that Biscayne wagon that he bought set up that way, and he finally sold it. He had a chance to get his money back out of it, and he sold it. So we ran it right back through my auction that October, and it brought a little more than what he bought it for at Mecum, so it covered all his fees and everything. So he sold it. Let's see. Big Job's on with us. John in Texas, 107 and in San Antonio. I was over 100 here today as well. So then it was on to Mecum, like I said, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They had a good turnout, a lot of cars. And that's what we always talk about. That's the great thing about going to those collector car auctions. I've been to about 20 Mecums probably over the last 10 years. Actually, I've been going for 10 years. 2013 was the first time we went to a Mecum in Kansas City. I've been to right around 20 Mecums over the last 10 years. So I don't go to tons of them, but I've seen a lot of them. And that's what's great about them. There's always a ton of cool cars there. Everywhere you look, all kinds of different stuff, extremely wide variety of stuff. And a lot of times it's the only time you get to see some of that stuff too. That's what's cool. They had a very, very diverse offering. They had some factory Ford drag cars, some factory Mopar drag cars, stuff from the 60s. A lot of the 70s and 80s stuff is getting stronger all the time. We see all that. Old School made it with tonight. We've got, and all the way up to new stuff. A lot of the new Corvettes there, which have been doing really strong at collector car auctions for the last couple of years. However, I think we're starting to see some cracks in the new Corvette market. I think the pipeline's full enough now that some of these cars just aren't bringing stupid money over sticker at auction like they have been for the last couple of years. Hudson badge. William is grilling and cleaning his car while he's hanging out with us. That's good. So, and the other thing about Mecum, or any of these collector auto auctions, whether it's Mecum, Barrett, even down to the F&E collector auto auction that we do, you get to see your friends, you get to hang out, eat some good food, drink some beer, have fun with your friends. That's what they're all about. That's why we go. Even there's a lot of times we haven't, nobody in our group bought a car, but we still had fun because we're all getting to hang out together. A little bit different not having Rick this time. That kind of sucked. Took a little bit of getting used to. Had to think about it a little bit. But Rick went with us an awful lot, so there was kind of a blank there with not having Rick with us this time. But we had a heck of a lot of fun with him, and that's what we're going to remember is all the good times that we did have. So, Old School like the Boss 302, and we're going to get ready to talk about that too. Norman says hit the like button. Tony's here with us. But yeah, the Boss 302, and that's another thing. Just like I said, you get to see a lot of your friends. Jim Wick's a good friend of mine. Ford Guru, Mustang, the Mustang, Shelby, Cobra. He's the Google for Mustang, Shelbys, and Cobras. That's just it. He's the Google for it. You can Google it and you get 10 different answers. I just call Wicks and ask him about a Mustang, a Shelby, or a Cobra, and he just recites the answer back to me, and it's correct. So, but yeah, the 302 was Boss 302 was a car that he was there with. It wasn't his car personally. It was a client of his that he was helping represent the car. And so he did point out some really cool features that, about that. And that's what's cool about, Jim Wicks and his knowledge is all the little things about what's that on those, on Mustangs, Shelbys, and Cobras. And he knows it off the top of his head. That's why I always like doing videos with him. There again, we've done half dozen videos with Jim over the last several years. We did some videos with him 2 years ago at Indy with the Atzbach collection. And those videos were great. I didn't have wireless mics at the time, so the sound was a little hard to follow. But his knowledge on the GT350R 5R002, the prototype GT350R, was amazing. He actually walked us around the car behind the ropes, opened the trunk, opened the hood, opened the doors. We looked inside of it, had a great time with him, and his knowledge is awesome. So you definitely want to check those videos out as well. Yes, can I help you? Can I help you? Yes, can I help you? We're talking about the auction, dum-dum. Yes, say hi. While you're here, say hi to everybody. Yes, say hi. Yes, say hi to everybody. Yes. All right, hop out of the way. G. Aaron Graham in Kingsville's on with us. Yes, go move. Everybody's saying hi to you now. Yes, hello. Yes, you're being a pain in the butt. Bill Alderman, truly the Ford guru. Yes, he is absolutely a Ford guru. And that's what's cool about it is he can just no, you cannot step on the keyboard. If you step on the keyboard, things are not going to go well. Number one's here with us. They're all saying hi to you, so quit being a pain in the butt. Quit stepping on the keyboard. If you step on the keyboard, it's going to be bad. Yes, you. Talking to you. But there again, I learn stuff when Jim takes time to do videos with us. We learn stuff. Did a video with him on a Twister Mustang a couple years ago at Kansas City. That was a great video pointing out about a lot of the cool things about the Twisters. Like I said, so much knowledge, and the fact that he's willing to share that with us is cool. So I always, and Jim's a great guy anyway. So I always enjoy, talking to him, hanging out with him a little bit, and always enjoy getting to see him. Would you figure out what you're doing? Yes, hi. Yes, hi. Here, why don't you sit around and here? Yes, there. You can sit here and say hi. Somebody even put a gray kitty on the screen. Yeah, David W. put a gray kitty on the screen just like you. Yes, so calm down. But anyway, that's there again, that's the great part about going to these auctions. Tons of cool cars, seeing your friends, hanging out with your friends, going with your friends. It's all great. Yes. Yes. You have a long nose and a puckered mouth. Yes, you have a long nose. You actually don't have a long nose. It just looks like when you're staring straight at the screen. Yes. Why don't you go sit down somewhere? Yes, why don't you go sit down somewhere? No, do not step on the keyboard. Park it. John's trying to buy a $10 starting bid on the kitty. If you quit being such a pain, don't quit being such a pain in the butt, I'm going to auction you off. Yes. What do you think of that? All right. Looks like she's going to, yes, you're going to sit over there. That's good. You sit over there for a while. So anyway, Auburn Cord Duesenberg, Mecum. It's a good week. That's right. Glenn says you're mouthy tonight. You are kind of mouthy tonight. So anyway, that's always a great time. Like I said, I wish I could have run into Pete there. And there again, if you guys are going to be at an auction or somewhere where I'm at, just give me a call while you're there. And even if I don't hear my phone, leave me a quick message and I'll get back with you. So Old says needs food now. Her bowl's half full over there. She's just being needy and whiny. Yeah, Shopcatch is really standoffish. Yeah, standoffish to be right in the way of everybody. Kenny says big shipping on Gray Kitty. Yeah, you'd be expensive to ship, dum. Mark says maybe she needs some treats. Yeah, she's got plenty of food. Alec hadn't watched the Mecum video yet. Yeah, and and there again, when I'm doing videos in places like that, the sound isn't always great. I actually did not take my wireless mic in because we were going to, Jim wanted to shoot some stuff with us, and I can't find another transmitter. My receiver says it can handle 2 channels, but I can't find another transmitter for this mic setup I bought. So for now, we've got some background noise in it, but that's the nature of the beast sometimes. Not always going to be perfect. And, it's either sometimes you got to deal with a little background noise and do the video or not do the video. So I'd rather bring you some content. And if you don't like it and you can't, I understand. Not a problem. I understand that, if it doesn't work out or it gets annoying, not a problem. So, let's see what else we got going on. Number one, just decent voice, didn't bid on much. I didn't bid on much. Pete, when will the article be in Old Cars? I don't know when it's going to be in. I got a whole little notepad I made a bunch of notes on. I took a bunch of pictures. I'm going to try to get it written up this week. But then, I don't know when they'll run it. They may run it in 2 weeks. They may run it in a month. I don't know. It depends on what their schedule is. I just put my notes together, put some notes together on 10 or 12 cars and send it to them. And then they take it from there. So, that's so the article in Old Cars Weekly is up to them. I'm just going to try to get it done this week. Let's see. Brian Dispatch, sound made it to Canada loud and clear. Tweedledee says cat wants attention. Yeah, you want attention. You always want attention. Old School says free content, free for us. Can't complain. Well, thanks. Appreciate that. But like I said, always a great time. Always love going. And it's always nice to get away. Just wish I'd have ran into Pete. That's the only thing. Wish I'd have ran into Pete. So X-Ray Dean's on with us. Glad you're here. What else is going on? Membership portal. I did work on a membership portal quite a bit while I was in the hotel, while I was in Tulsa. It's not done yet, but hopefully here within a few weeks, we'll have the membership portal done. There's going to be different levels of it. Obviously, the top tier is going to be the training level, like we've been talking about. I've got a list of you guys on my notepad, and here, hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to need to be having a conversation with a lot of you guys to see if you're serious about getting into the training program of what I do, how I find inventory, how I buy inventory, how I haul it, store it, sort it, process it, clean it, take pictures, ship it, shipping accounts, boxes, all that different type of stuff of what I do. We've been talking about that for a couple of years. I think this membership portal is the way to do it, and do a live training session for an hour every week. And once you're in that membership portal, as long as your monthly fee is current, you will always have access to all of those training videos. I'm thinking about going ahead and having a couple of different levels, just a basic, cheap level if people want membership badges, things like that, all the way up to the training level. So I am working on that. I'm fumbling through it. I'm learning as I go type of thing. So please keep that in mind, that hopefully in a few weeks, we will be to the point where we're ready to have a conversation with some of you guys about being into a live training session about how to do what I do. And obviously the top tier is going to have a not a huge, but it is going to be a fairly decent monthly fee, because I have to take time out of my week to do it. And it's going to make you guys money if you utilize the information that we're sharing in that group. Even to the point where if you found something and you want to know if it's worth buying, we can have that discussion in the live study session every week. Should I buy this? Should I not buy this? Does it make a few bucks? Does it not make a few bucks? Things like that. So the top tier will be the most expensive tier, but it shouldn't cost you anything. It should make you money if you use it correctly. Brian Dispatch got checked out and they found some infection. So hopefully they got that cleared up after you fell out of the semi-trailer, Brian. So hopefully that's doing well. Bill Alderman thought the audio was great. The background sound gives it some of the live, you're there, live feel. So Mark, have 2 Newell stock intents for early G series van. Yeah, it depends on what, how complete they are, things like that, and what years they cover, stuff like that. But I'm sure there's people out there, because vans are starting to get more and more popular all the time. So anyway, hopefully here in a few weeks, that membership portal will be ready to go, and we can have some conversations about some of the people who really want to get into the training session. I had some names jotted down from a few weeks ago. If some of you guys are still interested, I want you to be thinking about it. Pete Winters, Glenn Kirk, Eloy Ortega, Brandon Hott, and Don Pfeiffer all, said that you would definitely be interested in getting into on something like that. Anybody else says keep that in mind. I would like to hopefully get that going, sometime by the end of summer, and get that up and rolling. So anyway, I am working on it. I am working on the membership portal. So stay tuned. I will keep you posted as that starts coming together. Hudson Badge. The next order of business, Rocky Mountain Race Week. Obviously, next week is going to be a little weird for me. We are planning on running Rocky Mountain Race Week next week. So my schedule is going to be weird. It kicks off next Friday, in 5 days. The Rocky Mountain Race Week Friday night block party, the pre-event. The city of Great Bend is putting this on for the racers. I've been working very closely with the city of Great Bend. We've got great city administration that is 150% behind events in Great Bend. They know they've got a great racetrack facility. They love these events coming in. And we've got a big event planned for Friday night for all of the racers coming in that are going to run Rocky Mountain Race Week. We're actually closing off one street by the courthouse square for race cars. The Chamber of Commerce is putting up a big tent with beer and water and popcorn for the racers. Going to have food vendors. Going to have a live radio remote. Going to have music. It's right across the street from the brewery. Right across the street from Gambino's Pizza. And there's about 3 or 4 other restaurants within a half a block of where we're going to be parked at. So there's Repurks is down there, Los Dos, and Lumpy Sports Bar, all within a half block of where the Friday night block party is going to happen. It's going to be a great time. Looking forward to that. So Friday night's going to be the kickoff. We may bring, instead of doing an episode Friday night, we may bring you some live stuff from the Friday night block party, hopefully. Frank's here with us. And then the following week, obviously, Sunday night, there again, we may, next Sunday night, obviously I'm not going to be here. We'll probably bring you a short live video from the track. We may just kind of touch base Friday night or Sunday night for a little bit. But Sunday night will obviously not be a complete episode because we will be at the track next Sunday. So, and then obviously the rest of the week, the normal week's videos will probably be feeds or, snippets from Rocky Mountain Race Week. If anybody is on the route, anybody is near, we're going to be Great Bend, Kansas, Kearney, Nebraska, Bandimere at Denver, Pueblo, and back to Great Bend. If you're anywhere near any of that route, absolutely come out, see us. Love to say hi to some of you. Plus, it's an awesome time. You get to see a ton of cool cars rolling down the track, the road weekers hanging out, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So please remember next week's schedule is going to be a little bit different. Bill Alderman, got a car in the race? Yeah, we are taking the 02 WS6 that I bought last year, that we took last year. We're taking that car again and running the 14.0 bracket. So, that's the great thing about Rocky Mountain Race Week. It's, you got to race what you drive, but you don't have to have an 8-second car to do it. They've got an 11 flat, 12 flat, 13 flat, and 14 flat brackets where it's the top car closest to that index, is the winner. So Hudson Badge. So, and that's what we're going to do. And, I don't have a super fast street car, but the 02 WS6, we had a lot of fun with it last year. And also I've got to help with the Road Week program because I helped Matt build a lot of the Road Week program, had a lot of fun doing that. Nate's on with us. Glad you made it. And and definitely looking forward to seeing Nate next week. Nate will be here next week with us, ready to run Rocky Mountain Race Week. So looking forward to that as well. And so there again, if you're anywhere near any of those tracks, definitely come out, come out, watch the races, say hi, catch me, catch Nate. We're going to be out there racing, and you get to see a ton of cool cars and have a great time. It's one of the best group of people I've ever hung out with. It's an amazing event. You absolutely want to check it out. So Bill Alderman, short live on Sunday. Nobody on Sunday is better than no show. So Pete, will you be racing in Great Bend? If so, when? Yeah, we run Great Bend Saturday afternoon into the evening. We have the block party Friday night, tech and registration Saturday morning. We start running late afternoon on Saturday. We drive to Kearney on Sunday. We run Kearney Sunday night. We drive to Bandimere on Monday. I think we run Bandimere Tuesday night. Drive to Pueblo Wednesday. Run Pueblo. Do we run Pueblo Wednesday or Thursday? I can't remember. I have to look at the drive route. And then we're back in Great Bend on Friday night, the 24th, for the finals. So, Bill Wagum, do you have slicks? No, I've got, they're like a soft compound street tire is what I've got on it. They're a drag radial is what I've got on that Trans Am. So, so that's kind of what's been going to be going on next week. If any of you guys are out at the track, holler at me. Love to meet you. We'll do the video together if you're going to be there. So Nate's looking forward to it. Everyone come say hi for there. Absolutely. He'll be in the slow car. Well, you're not. You're faster than my car, Nate. So, but that's what it's all about. It's having a great time, getting your cars out, hanging out with your friends, and like I said, it's the group of people that hang out on this deal is second to none. Matt Frost has put together an awesome deal, and we have a ton of fun. It's gotten huge, but we've still got such a great group of core racers. Bank Shift's going to have a lot of coverage. Taylor's will be there, Alex Taylor Alex and Dennis and Meg and Debbie, they're great friends of ours. I can't wait to see the Taylors. And then of course, there's some big YouTubers on there. Cletus McFarland runs the whole deal. So there's some really big heavy hitter YouTubers on there. And like I said, it's just a lot of great people. We have a lot of fun, and that's what it's about. Hudson Badge. So, but like I said, we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be great. I hope to see some of you out there, but please be, and my feeds that week, may not be exactly at 7:00 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Last year I ran into a lot of issues with Wi-Fi in different hotels and things like that when we're going that fast. But, that much traveling that fast between tracks. So my feeds may be a little sporadic. We will definitely feed you content from Rocky Mountain Race Week. Don't think that I'm going to skip you. I just don't know how consistent it's going to be as far as being exactly the way I'm on a fairly tight schedule the way it is, to make sure I try to keep things up within a certain window. It'll be kind of when I have time. So stay tuned. Please bear with me. Like I said, next Sunday night will probably be a short live from the track. Next Friday night, we may do a live from the block party, the Rocky Mountain Race Week kickoff block party next Friday night. So please keep that in mind, but I would love to see some of you out there. Can't wait to hang out with Nate. We're going to have a great time, and definitely looking forward to it. So anyway, Shopcat's got to go eat. Understand that for sure. But that's kind of what I've got as far as just stuff to talk about in open chat. And if anybody else has any questions or comments, be sure to throw them up there. I'll give you another Hudson badge before we get into the other badges. But let's roll into the badges. Let's check out some of those stuff. So Rico and Jess are on with us. Glad they made it. They were just talking about you, Jess. So Bill Wagaman, Cletus just ran 6s at 200 miles an hour this past week in the mullet. And I would imagine they're bringing the mullet again this year. They brought the mullet last year, so I assume that's probably what they're going to have again this year. So anyway, how about some badges for tonight? Brian's on with us, got his Cadillac hood ornament. Great, glad you got that. So let's check out tonight's badges. Starting off with an Oldsmobile badge. This is a cool Oldsmobile badge. This one here is 1917 to 1924 Oldsmobile. The Olds Motor Works, Lansing, Michigan. This is a cool piece. I hope you guys can all see it well. This badge is two and a half inches by 1 3/4 inches. So it's 2.5 by 1 3/4 inches. Kenny says it's nice. Yeah, it is cool. Jason's trying to buy it, but I'm not. This is one of my personal ones, so we're not going to do it. Oh, and I ain't said nothing to nobody, Jess, so whatever you want to tell anybody is up to you. But this is a pressed-on badge, just like a lot of these are, where it was pressed onto the radiator shell. Alec digs it. Loves the globe. Big Job loves the globe. Olds Motor Works. We see the Lansing, Michigan down here. This one does have a few chips in it, but there again, it's 100 years old, so it if I look this good at 100, I'm going to call it a win. So that's cool with me. It is a nice flat badge. It's not all bent up. Has good coloring on it. The Oldsmobile and the white banner with the red background. This would have been like a chrome or nickel type plating or whatever, where it was, kind of shiny. But I think everybody digs this badge. There's a lot of comments on this one. So it's a cool piece. And obviously Oldsmobile, very interesting story, and there's a little more to it than I even realized. So I was looking at my, my favorite website, the American Auto Emblem website. And, obviously we've all heard of Ransom Eli Olds, where it was Oldsmobile and he did Rio and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But there was more to it than that. P.F. Olds and Son Engine Works in Lansing, Michigan was the Olds family business for manufacturing gasoline engines and became the Olds Gas and Gasoline Engine Works in 1897. So they were actually an engine manufacturer prior to this. Scott says, thanks for the teaser. Billy was trying to buy it. Not for sale, not for sale, not for sale. Ransom Eli Olds tested his first car, a three-wheel steamer, in 1887. He started with a steamer in 1887. In 1891, he produced another steamer, and in 1896, his first gasoline-powered car by a single-cylinder 5-horsepower engine. Ransom E. Olds established the Olds Motor Vehicle Company in August of 1897. By mid-1898, only 6 cars had been produced. In May 1899, with the financial support of Samuel L. Smith, the Olds Motor Works was organized with a significant capital stock, acquiring the earlier Olds business, and with a new factory in Detroit. Ransom Olds continued to experiment from 1899 to 1900. About 11 different automobiles were built, including some electrics, and plans were made to put some on the market in 1901, but a fire destroyed the plant in March of 1901. A single gasoline runabout was saved from the fire. It was soon to be the famous curved dash Oldsmobile that we're all familiar with today as being one of the pioneers in the automotive world. Big job. Wish I had a 53 Olds. Had one and played with this 12, always liked them. The curved dash was a delightful little car powered by a single-cylinder 4-stroke engine, developing 7 horsepower with a 2-speed automatic transmission and center chain drive. Curved dash sales were 425 in 1901, 2,500 in 1902, and 4,000 in 1903, and 5,500 in 1904. The Curved Dash Oldsmobile was America's first quantity-produced car. Not only was the car a good one and well-priced, but the Curved Dash really enjoyed a major promotion campaign and extensive advertising. There was Roy Chaplin's well-publicized drive to New York City in 1901, followed by the contest between the single-cylinder Olds Pirate against Winton's 4-cylinder Bullet in 1902. Ransom Olds left the company in January of 2004 after a disagreement with Samuel Smith and soon began to manufacture the Rio car, which we've looked at Rio badges. We've talked about all that as well. And so he moved on to Rio at that point. However, Oldsmobile sales began to fall, and in 1908, William Durant had bought Olds Motor Works for General Motors. A 6-cylinder Oldsmobile was introduced in 1908 and a new 4-cylinder in 1909. For 1910 and some years following, Oldsmobiles were luxury cars, smaller cars followed, and production figures began to grow. Oldsmobile production reached 10,000 units in 1916, 22,000 units in 1917. So that's about when this badge came in. 22,613 units in 1917 when they started using this badge. And that's when things started to move forward with Oldsmobile. All Oldsmobiles became 6-cylinder cars in 1924, and that year Cannonball Baker drove a Model 30 across America in a record time of 12 and a half days. So Cannonball Baker actually drove an Oldsmobile in 1924 on a Cannonball run, one of the first ones done by Cannonball Baker himself. I was not aware of that Cannonball Baker did actually do a Cannonball run in a 1924 Oldsmobile. Didn't know that until I found this article on American Auto Emblem's website. So it is a great piece. There's some awesome history with Oldsmobile, Ransom Eli Olds, a lot of histories, a lot of stories there. You can go on about that for the next 3 days. But there's a little tidbit of information to go with this. Alex, it looks like has a look of a first responders badge. Yeah, it kind of does. But Bill Alderman digs it. Bill Lyman has hit the like button. We need more likes. Definitely. I appreciate that. Jess likes it. Pete likes it. So cool badge, cool history. 1917 to 1924 era Oldsmobile badge on this one. And obviously, we're going to step it up a few generations, move up a few decades with the next one, as we always do. Bill Alderman says that's a keeper badge. Yeah, but it definitely is. Something that you guys, a lot of you know, I'm a big fan of, the Pontiac Firebirds. This is a new all stock header panel badge for early to mid 70s era Firebird. Obviously, beautiful condition. I don't have a box for it, but this is all new all stock, original plastic insert, original chrome. Obviously, it's new, so it's never had a nut cut threads on the stud. Brand new on the back. Obviously, these, these 70s era second gen Trans Ams are kind of off the rails right now. Desirability wise, they are bonkers. There was a couple of them that approached 200 grand at Indy. So there's this Firebird stuff is crazy. Obviously, as all you guys know, I'm a big fan of them. Jason's trying to buy this one. I'm gonna give you a Hudson badge, Jason, so you can cool down, but you can't buy this one either. But so that's what obviously that's something I grew up on. I'm a big fan of them. I've got my Marty Blue 78, as well as multiple other Trans Ams and Camaros in my personal collection. So always love finding cool stuff like this. Alec digs it as well. Bill says, hey, Jess, did you get your bill yet from Mecum? Eloy made it. Glad you're here. So there we go. We're jumping up a few generations to get to the Firebird badge from the mid-70s, the as they're affectionately called, the Screaming Chicken that they used in the mid-70s. But it's a great piece, and obviously anything Firebird and Camaro, especially from the second and third gen and even to the fourth gen, big fan of, especially super cool Newell stock pieces like this. So Bill Alderman, I like the Pontiac, like the Phoenix Firebird. Excellent. Yeah, it's Newell stock, so it's doesn't get much better than that. It's brand new. It was never installed. Amy had a chance to buy a 78 Trans Am with a 455 for $500 about 20 years ago. Yeah, it's amazing. What's amazing is back in the 90s how many cars I passed on for $500 because I could still buy parts cars for $200 or $300. So I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't willing to pay $500 for a lot of them because I could still buy them for $200 or $300 for parts cars. Alec's older brother had Trans Ams as well. So that's what we got for badges tonight. Oldsmobile from 1917 to 1924, and then the Screaming Chicken Firebird from the early to mid 70s era for a Firebird Trans Am Formula Air type vehicle. So who's ready to do some auctions? Anybody up for some auctions? We may even squeeze in a couple of extra ones tonight, since we're not going to do any next week. So let's get ready to do some auctions if everybody's ready to go. Get my notepad out, get ready, give everybody a Hudson badge to get ready to go. X-Ray Dean's ready to boogie. Big Job's ready. Alec, I know Alec is always ready for auctions. One real quick thing, William Disc from last week. You bought a badge, you paid me on PayPal, but there's no shipping information. So it was the oval Ford 85 badge. If you want to get me your shipping info, I can get that on the way. So, but as of right now, I don't have any shipping information for you, William, on that. So if you're on with us, please get with me and get me your shipping info so I can get that on the way to you. As always, I got a bunch of stuff laying here. Let's see what else we got going on. Make sure I'm caught up on comments. That's right, Bill Wagman. How many were cut up for race cars? Tons of Firebirds and Camaros got cut up for race cars. Absolutely. Where do we want to start? Cans, tags, emblems, badges, hood ornaments. We got it all. We got all kinds of stuff in here. Big shops, get everybody liquored up. Time to spend some money. That's right. That's what the Hudson badge is for. No, Nova stuff. I don't think I got any Nova stuff yet. I need to get some. I told you I'd get some of that stuff out for you, Willem. I need to do that. So they want to buy you, Gray Kitty. So where do we want to start? Let's get Boogie in here. All right. How about we start off with some emblems? We got any Chevy Impala fans out there? We got a couple of Impala emblems. This one I think is like a 63. Beautiful emblem, shiny chrome, no chips, no breaks, mounting studs are still there. Even got a little piece of wire hanging on it. If you want to hang it, I'll leave that on there. You can just hang it just like that. Like I said, I think this is 63. Outside diameter of the circle is just over 3 inches. Jeff's a fan of the second gen Firebirds as well. And it's about 3 3/4 with the Impala's legs on this one. That's right, old school. It's a Christmas tree ornament. That's exactly right. I think this is a 63, if I remember correctly, quarter emblem. And we're going to do another Impala emblem with it as well. I think this is like a 66 or 67. It's a little bit smaller. Once again, beautiful chrome. No chips, chunks, cracks, breaks. Mounting studs are still there. Super cool display piece. It is. These are both flat mount emblems, so they're not curved. They are basically, that one. I guess this one has a very slight curve to it. This one is pretty much flat. This one has a very slight curve. So, Bill Alderman starting us off with $10. Eloy says that is 63. Alec is in at 10 as well. I already had Bill Alderman at 10. I got a cat in the way as well. So we're going to do this pair of Impala badges. I've got Norma at 20 on the pair of Impalas, both for one bid, 63 and 66 or 67. Charles is in at 25 on the Impalas. Kitty must have an upset stomach. No, Kitty's being a pain in the butt. Kitty's being a pain in the butt. That's what you're doing. So, as always, we'll get this on the timer here in just a minute. X-Ray Dean is in at 26. Please remember the delay on the time. We know we've got about a 10 to 15 second delay, I think. I'll get my timer set up. We'll get ready to put this thing on the stopwatch here. I've got Charles at 30 on the Impala emblems. Bidding on the pair. I did not give you a diameter on this one, I don't think, did I? 2 1/4. Like I said, this one is smaller. This is about 2 1/4 on the diameter. Charles at 30 is my high bidder as of right now. Multiple other bids. Cat, quit stepping on stuff and messing up the stream. So, the pair of Impala badges, one bid. Bill Alderman at 31 is my high bidder on this pair. We are going to go live 2 minutes once I set the timer. We are ticking down on 2 minutes. At that point, we'll give you another Hudson badge to roll with. Eloy says the other one is 66. So 63 and 66 are both beautiful pieces. Nice chrome, not pitted up, not chunked out, not tore up, and good, nice display pieces. So get the set. We are going to go live 2 minutes on the clock. And I will give you a warning at 1 minute and 1 minute 30 because, like I said, we do have a 10 to 15 second delay. Please remember that as we get going. As always, I just watched the stopwatch on my phone. We'll just go ahead and start it right now. Here we are. We are live on the timer. 2 minutes ticking down. I've got Norma at 35 is my high bidder at this point. Norma at 35. We are live on the 2 minute timer on the pair of Impala badges. And I've got Mark at 40. As always, please remember when I give you the minute and the minute and a half warning, please remember to be thinking about that max bid. Some of you guys are getting really, really good at sniping stuff. So please remember, some of these guys they got this delay down pat, and they will get it with 2 or 3 seconds left before anybody has time to. By the time I read their bid out, it's already over. Charles at 45 is our high bidder. Here it's going. I just don't have a good way to set it up here to try to keep track of it. So that's why I sit it here right in front of me on the corner of the computer. As you see, we're coming up on that 1 minute mark. And Charles at 45 is my high bidder. I've got Mark in at 47. As you can see, we have hit the 1 minute mark. So please be thinking about that as we're ticking down here. I've got Mark at 47 is my high bidder on the pair of Impala badges. Coming up on that minute 30 point, and I'll put it down at a minute 30 because I can't hold everything in, try to keep track of this stuff. So Mark at 47 is my high bidder. As we come up on that minute 30 mark, there we go. We're at the minute 30. We've got 30 seconds left. Be thinking about those max bids. I've got Charles at 50. I want to keep these things up where everybody can see them. Charles at 50, 20 seconds left as we're wrapping down on the pair of Impala badges. I've got Charles at 50 right now, 15 seconds left. John came in at 48, but I've already got Charles at 50, 10 seconds left. Sebastian's on with us. 5. Here we go. I've got Charles at 50. We're just about ready to wrap this thing up, and that will do it. Charles at 50 is our high bidder on the pair of Impala badges. And Pete tried to snipe him, was a little late. So Charles at 50 is who we sold those to. Keep my notes caught up here. And we'll sit these off to the side and find something else cool. We're going to do a license plate, and this is a plate that I really personally dig. It's not super old, but it's really cool. I've always liked it. Part of the reason I like it is I remember it from a little kid. You know, this was a tag that was very common. I thought it was very colorful. I thought the state of Kansas did a really good job on it. And we're going to sell one. It's a pretty decent one. It has good colors on it. This is, you know, and I say it's not that old. It's 41 years old. Which is an antique in about anybody's books, technically. This is a Kansas license plate. It's a regular standard full-size license plate. 1981, this was stickered up until 83. This was a tag that was used for, 81, 82, 83. I don't know probably 84, maybe 85. What I liked about this was the way they did it. Sebastian, we've only sold one thing, Sebastian, so you're good. We're only on the second item for the auction. But this Kansas plate is well, and I'll just show it to you so you can understand what I'm talking about. Here it is, the 1981 Kansas license plate. I love the blue with the wheat stalks on it. Now, the wheat stalks are not embossed. That is like painted on. Numbers on this one are embossed. This was Sedgwick County. It was down in the Wichita area is where this one came from. Obviously, stickers up into 1983. But me personally, I've always just liked this plate. So that's why I was kind of excited about it, even though I thought, well, it's not that old. Well, then I got to think it's 41 years old. It's technically an antique in about any book anywhere in any state. It's not bent up or anything. Good colors on it. So I like it. We'll see if any of you guys like it or not. So anyway, if anybody wants to open this one up, we'll go ahead and get started on it. But that's why I dig it. Like I said, you can see the embossing on the numbers, but not on the wheat. So Sebastian's going to throw us out there at 5 and get things rolling on it at least. So Sebastian at 5. Everybody wants to buy Gray Kitty tonight. She's over at the food bowl now, so she should be fine. She's eating. Alec is in at 10 on the 1981 Kansas plate. And like I said, it's kind of crazy. It's starting to get old. And with the wheat and stuff being painted on it, finding good ones, I think, eventually is going to be a little bit tough. Maybe not. Who knows? But I know I actually don't have tons of these. I've got plenty of them, but I don't have tons of them. There again, because they faded. They were, the wheat would wear off, the blue would wear off, all that type of stuff. So I've got some bids coming in on it, but as of right now, Norma is top at 20. So I've got Norma at 20 on this one. Bill Alderman digs the wheat stalks as well. So let's go ahead and put this thing on the timer. We are live. We are ticking down as of right now. 2 minutes on the timer. Please remember that 8 to 10, or about 10, I'm going to tell you 10 to 15 second delay. So when we get to that minute point, obviously we'll show it to you. When we get to the minute and a half point, I'm going to tell you so that you guys are well aware of where we're at on time. Norma at 20 is my high bidder on the 1981 Kansas plate. So coming up on that 30-second mark. And that puts us to a minute and a half left on the 2 minutes. I understand you do have a delay, so please keep that in mind. Some of you guys are getting to be professional snipers here. Bill Alderman says he's in 15. He's in 15 on the cat, right, Cat? So anyway, coming up on that 1 minute mark, Norma at 20 on the 1981 Kansas plate. And here we go. We're at the minute mark as of right now. And we're ticking on down. Please be thinking about that max bid. If you're going to throw one in on this one, and normalize Kansas plates too, so maybe she may be in. This one may be hers. So, Kenny, cool plate. I don't think we've seen any other states with embossed month and year. Well, this stuff here is a sticker. The year up here is embossed. Coming up on that minute 30 mark, as you guys can see, Norma at 20 on the 1981 Kansas plate. And there we are. We are at the minute and a half mark. So by the time you see this, we're just about done. So please keep that in mind. We're ticking down on this one. Norma at 20 is the high bidder. And we're coming up 15 seconds left as of right about now. We've got 15 seconds left. Just about done. Looks like this one's going to go to Norma. 10 seconds left. Lee snuck in there at 25. I've got Lee at 25. Sebastian came in at 25, but Lee beat him. I got Alec at 23. Lee at 25 is my high bidder, and that will do it. Lee at 25. Norma tried to come back, but she was about 4 seconds too late. So this one's going to head to New York and hang on Lee's wall. All right, time for a can. Who wants to do some cans? Let's start off with this one. And this is it doesn't have a ton of great graphics on it, but old school's ready. But it is really nice shape. It is definitely old. It definitely has some age to it, but it does not have a year on it. It is empty, but it looks brand new inside. This is the Elastic Dust Cloth, specially treated high absorbent dust cloth for car and home. Beautiful colors on this thing. Great gloss. Original cap. Elastic Dust Cloth. On the back, this cloth is made of extra long nap cotton flannel treated by our own exclusive formula to absorb all dust and dirt and to remove rain spots on automobile bodies and chrome trim, just as effective for household use on furniture, woodwork, appliances, all wood and plastic surfaces. Directions for best result: use cloth folded. Dirt will not affect its cleansing quality. Will last for months under daily use. Do not use on wet surfaces. Keep cloth in can when not in use. Manufactured by the Last Stick Manufacturing Company, Hamilton, Ohio. Tweety D, is that the same as Neverdole? I don't know. But I know Alex in at 12 on it already. Alex ready to get this thing rolling. So, but like I said, it is a great can with great colors. And obviously the original cap is always cool to keep that showroom shine on all fine finishes. Like I said, this is empty inside, but it looks brand new. So I've got Dennis at 14 is my high bidder at this point on the Last Stick Dust Cloth can. Like I said, great condition. No cool graphics. Doesn't have a car or anything on it, but outstanding condition. So Old School is at 20. Eloy's got the same one, but he still has the cloth in his. So Old School at 20 is our high bidder at this point. We're going to go ahead and fire this thing off on the timer. So we are live on that 2 minutes. Old School at 20 is my high bidder. And things are starting to tick down at this point. So here we go. We are live on the timer. Mark's in at 22. Alec is in at 22 as well. I looked at Mark there, had it, and I looked at Alec here and had it. So they must have came in at about the same time. That's right, big job. It is pristine shape. Now, I can't find a year on it, Tweedly D. No. The Highlanders here loves the channel. Appreciate that. 30 seconds has passed. I got them hung up. Mark and Alec, both at 22, both at the same time. So I'm hoping somebody's at least got a bid 23. Alec bids 24. So Alec breaks up the tie. Appreciate that, Alec. Thanks. On the Last Stick Dust Cloth can. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Ticking along as of right now, just about to 1 minute. Alec at 24 is my high bidder. As we come up, we've just passed the 1 minute mark. 1 minute left. Please remember, we've got that delay. So when you see this, we're getting close to the end. That's right, Sebastian. It looks like pretty much a new old stock can, and it's pretty close to that. Some of you guys are looking a little thirsty out there. We better throw that up. Alec at 24 is my high bidder on the last stick dust cloth can in great condition. We are coming up on the minute and a half mark. Old School's in at 27. I've got Old School at 27 as we pass the minute 30 mark. So when you see that we're just about done, please be thinking about your max bids and be ready to get those things in sooner rather than later. 20 seconds left. Max high bid is 27 with Old School. 15 seconds left. So by the time you see this, we're going to be about done. So please keep that in mind. See if anybody else jumps in. Getting down to the wire with 10 seconds left. 27 is the high bid on this one. Keep an eye on things. We're just about ready to wrap this up. Alec at 30. Alec is at 30, and that does it. That Alec hit that one dead on. That was like 159 and 9. So I don't know how Alec snuck that in at 30, but he sure did. Holy cow. That was tight. Yeah, Old School, man, you got beat by like that. But that's what I said. Some of these guys are good. I mean, really good. I mean, boom. I mean, we're talking within the last between 158 and 2. I mean, some of these bids are coming in. Of course, there's just many people coming in at 202 as well. So it's kind of a pretty fine line to walk. So. Ugh. Let's do something a little bit different this time. It's a great piece. It mounts flat, so there's a lot you can do with it. Kevin from the UK is on with us on Facebook. Thanks for swinging by and hanging out, Kevin. Yes, Kenny, the pump plate is on the way. I dropped it into the mail Tuesday before we headed for Mecum. So, yeah, it is on the way. This is something a little different than what we've done. I've got a couple of different variations of this piece in the box. So I want to throw one up here and see what you guys think. Let's see if anybody wants to bid on. How about some Hudson badge right there? How about some horn buttons? I've actually got 3 or 4 of them down here in the box that are pretty cool. So I want to try one of these and see what you guys think of them and see if you guys want to bid on them. Because there's some great ones of those out there. Sebastian says, any Packer stuff? I don't think I got any Packer stuff in the boxes tonight. But this badge is a Dodge. It's about a 49-50 era Dodge. And this is what's so great about these. They are flat mounts. So, I mean, you can mount them on a toolbox or do whatever you wanted with them. But look at the front of these things. These things are still cool. Like I said, we look for anything that is neat, unique, that is a statement piece, cool memorabilia. So that's why I thought we'd try a couple of these because they're cool. Look at that bright, shiny chrome with that super cool plastic badge. Mark, any more Impala stuff? I don't think any specific Impala. There's some more Chevrolet stuff in the box for tonight if we get that far. Sebastian started us off at 20, so apparently somebody likes the horn button. There are 2 of the original screws with this. These are threaded in the back. No, number one, I did not get toys out tonight. I do not have any toys. So I have 2 of these original screws that mount in the back. Actually, one of them still has a hook on it. So if somebody wanted to, go for the Christmas tree ornament type deal, we've got that hook on that one. So I will send the original screws with it. Kevin digs it too. Alex says 10. I've got Pete at 25 on YouTube. No Riviera stuff tonight, Eloy. So like I said, I look for anything that is cool. If I think it's cool, you guys usually think it's cool. Tweedledee is in at 30. Charles is in at 30. So Tweedledee was first at 30. Sebastian says it looks clean. It is clean. That's why I thought it was a good piece that was worth trying to throw up here because I figured some of you guys would enjoy it. This is a plastic center, chrome pop metal housing. The back, we can see the plastic insert in here. And then the metal housing, these screws, the original screws go right in here that would go up from the back of the steering wheel. plastic centerpiece is screwed in right here on the corners. So number one says, make a neat place to hide a doorbell cam. Yep. Alec at 35 on Facebook is my high bidder on the Dodge horn button. So several bids coming in, but as of right now, Alec at 35 is my high bidder. So we're going to go ahead and kick this one off. So we are live on that 2 minutes. I've got Charles at 40 on the Dodge horn button. So we're ticking along right now. We are live on the timer. Like I said, neat piece. It is a little bit thicker. You know, you can see, I'll give you an overall diameter on it. It is about 4 inches across. So it's a 4 inches across. Tweedledee at 42 is my high bidder as of right now, and it's about an inch thick. Tweedledee at 42 is my high bidder. Kevin says he can't keep his eyes off that Studebaker piece. Well, Kevin, we're giving that thing away July 3rd. Be sure to get in on the raffle if you want to get in on that Studebaker bullet nose. We're giving that away on July 3rd in this month's raffle. Raffle details are in the text part of this video. Charles at 45 is where we're at on the Dodge horn button as we're coming up on that 1 minute mark. As of right now, we're just about to that 1 minute point on the Dodge horn button. I've got Charles at 45, and we're just past the 1 minute. As we're ticking along, I'm going to put these screws back in here so I don't forget to do it and sit this thing down, then knock the screws off on the floor and lose them when I'm supposed to be sending them with the piece. But Charles at 45, I can hold it by that one now, is the high bidder on this Dodge horn button. Zach made it. Zach's on. We're just on the fourth auction piece. Zach, you're good to go. We're coming up on the minute 30 mark right now. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Charles at 45 is my high bidder. Please keep that in mind. By the time you see this, we're just going to be about wrapped up. Charles at 45 is my high bidder. 20 seconds left. 15 seconds left. Charles at 45 is my high bidder. 10 seconds to go. 5. We're just about done. Charles at 45. If anybody's going to see if anybody's going to snipe him. And that will do it. Sebastian came in at 50, but I had just said we were done. So Charles at 45 on the Dodge horn button. And Alec tried to snipe him too. Both of you guys just missed him, but that one is Charles is at 45. So glad you guys like the horn buttons as well, because they are cool. I mean, there's just, there again, a lot of different things you can do with this type of stuff. What else we got? We got all kinds of cool stuff. Coming across a lot of 60s and 70s pickups, Fords and Chevys. I've got a lot here, Sneaky Sniper, but it's spotty. You know, the stuff just doesn't pour out of the woodwork. It's spotty. I try to grab them when I can, but Sebastian, 15 seconds is the last window with the delay. So 15 seconds is where we're at on a delay on that one, on YouTube, at least with Sebastian. But please keep in mind, you know, we're seeing different delay times from tablets to iPhone, or tablets to smartphones to computers as well. So William Diss, sorry I'm late, but 2-hour project took all day. William, perfect. I'm glad you're here. I got your payment last week for the Ford badge, but there was no shipping info on there. So get that to me, William, and I'll get that on the way. So glad you made it online. Glad you commented so I can tell you that. But so please stay tuned or get me that information. I want to get that on the way to you. So what do we want to do next? How about a can? Let's do another can. This is kind of a different can, but it's kind of cool. It is grease solvent hand cleaner. It is a metal hand cleaner can. No signs denied either. No signs denied. Grease solvent hand cleaner. Kind of a small can. Something cool. I don't have any of these, but I got a couple of them on this deal, so we're going to sell one of them. Grease solvent, original can. It actually is on both sides. Grease solvent. Really good condition on this thing. A couple of little dinghies over here on the lid. Hand soap for mechanics, printers, painters, plumbers, farmers, engineers, etc. Sole manufacturers of the utility company, New York, 18 USA. Now, it's got to have some age to it just based on that. Household, also wonderful for kitchen utensils, tile, bathroom, painted woodwork, marble, glass, etc. 1 pound can, net weight 17 ounces. Also available in 3, 6, and 13 pound cans. Keep can covered. Lots of bids popping up on this thing. Let me see, where are we at? Mark at 15 is the high bidder. Currently the high bidder. Kind of good. But here we can look at the information here. If you guys can see it, New York, 18 USA. That's the address info. So it's got to be early based on that. Now, I didn't do any surprise bags, number one. I thought about that about 5 o'clock. Or no, actually about 5:45, I thought about that, and I already had everything ready and didn't have time to stop and regroup on that. So, but you see that address for New York and not a lot of information, so it's got to have some age to it. Original can, grease solvent, cleans hands clean, many household uses, trademark, regular U.S. Patent Office on the top. Dennis at 18 is my high bidder. I've got several bids coming in, but Dennis at 18 is high at this point. I'm going to pop this thing open, maybe if I can. I had it open. There we go. Inside, nice and clean. Not all crusty or gunky, so. Nothing in it, Sebastian. There it is. It's empty. So, yeah, a couple of you guys asked if it's empty. So, it is empty. There's the inside of it. It is nice and clean. It's not all gunky. The bottom's nice and clean. On the grease solvent hand cleaner can. William Cumbie, old tins are works of art. Yeah, they kind of are. Alec at 22 is my high bidder on the grease solvent can. Let me give you some dimensions on this, and then we're going to put it on the timer. This is about 3 5/8 in diameter. William Disc, I could have used it if it had hand cleaner in it. And it is about 2.5 tall. So there's your dimensions on it. Alec at 22 is my current high bidder. Mark just jumped in at 25 on the grease solvent can. So that's about all I can tell you about it. We're going to go ahead and kick this one off, and we are live on the timer on the grease solvent hand cleaner metal can. Mark at 25 is my high bidder. I got lots of bids coming in. I got tons of bids coming to this thing, but they're all, $1 and $2 bumps. So Mark at 25 is my high bidder. Holy cow, I think they've got about 20 bids on it between the two formats. So Big Job says, good one to keep on the dresser for change. Yep. Coming up on that 30-second mark, Mark at 25 is my high bidder. Better get my notes made on this thing so I don't get mixed up on my list. And ticking along, Alec at 27. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark, I've got Alec at 27. As we're ticking along right up on the 1 minute mark, and there we go. We have passed it. Please be thinking about those maximum bids. Like I said, we are seeing delays of up to 15 seconds. So when we get down towards the end, be thinking about that max bid if you're going to if you want to snipe something. So, Sebastian, the neat non-oil or non-carbon can still do pretty well. Sneaky Sniper, precursor to Gojo. That's right. Gas station mechanics had this all the time. And like I said, based on that address, that's kind of thinking it is pretty early, so it would be a precursor to Gojo. We're coming up on that 1.5 point, and there we go. 30 seconds left. By the time you see this point in the show, we are going to be about wrapped up. We've got to look at it at 15-second delay. Alec at 27 is the high bidder. So please keep that in mind. Ticking along here, 20 seconds left. Alec at 27 is the high bidder. 15 seconds to go. Here we go. We're wrapping this one up on the grease solvent hand cleaner. Super cool old metal can. 10 seconds left. Alec at 27. 5 seconds left. Sebastian at 35. Sebastian came in at 35 on the hand cleaner can, and that will do it. Sebastian at 35 on the grease solvent can. So, and that is a cool piece and in great condition. So that's a good piece for sure. Zach came in at 30 right after that too. So there again, Sebastian was at 35. Zach tried to snipe it too, but came in at 30. So always throwing that few extra bucks on there if that's where you want to go, because if they'd have come in at the same time, because they were pretty close, Sebastian still would have had it. So. Number one says a radio front. Highlander wants some Ford stuff. That's right. We haven't really done some Ford stuff, and I just grabbed a Chevy part. So let's grab the Ford part, then we'll do the Chevy part. Zach said the delays on Facebook are a little late tonight. So, Sebastian, that's right, Sebastian. $1 or $2 can absolutely break a snipe. X-Ray D wants to play with. I've got a cool Plymouth piece that I was actually just thinking about. I'm going to throw it up here so I don't forget it because I just saw it. But you're right. We do need to do some Ford stuff. We have not done any Ford stuff. Let's do some Ford stuff. This is kind of a cool Ford piece. This is a piece that I actually have one of these in my personal collection. They're not extremely rare, but they're cool, and this one's in good shape. And since you guys want some Ford parts, it's a great time to throw it up here. It's kind of a monster. It's heavy, but it's cool. Bill Wagner says, no Ford stuff. It'll rust too quick. But I've always liked these pieces. I've always grabbed them, and I've got one saved for me that I've actually repainted because I thought it was a great display piece. The 1963 Ford hood latch handle. Number one, any radio delete plates or rear speakers? Yeah, I got lots of that stuff too. And you're right, number one, some of those are kind of cool. We can mix some of those in. Let's sell this thing. We'll see if how many Ford fans we actually got out here. 1963, this actually bolts to a bracket in front of the grill. This is the grill ornament and the hood handle. So we can look at the back of this and see where it's got two bolts, where the handle comes out from under the hood, and you can't really see it, bolts to this, sits in front of the grill, and then you could grab this and peel it up. Number one says $33. The Highlander came in at 10, but number one was already at 33 on that one. This thing is heavy. It is solid pot metal. We've got $33 on it as of right now. It's fairly decent sized. It is 8 3/4 inches long. But like I said, this actually was the grill ornament, so it's 8 3/4 inches where you could see it. Highlander is at 40 on it. Alec came in at 15. We've got Highlander at 40. So almost 9 inches long. It is about 2 inches high. Chrome on this thing is great. Very, very shiny. Very nice deep shine chrome. Like I said, the one that I've got, I've actually repainted the red, white, and blue in these inserts, just with like some model paint to kind of spiff it up a little bit. You can see this thing, and it's got to be heavy because it was the hood latch when you grabbed it and yanked on it. No, David, this is a car. This is 63 full-size car. But it's heavy. I don't know, it probably weighs a pound and a half, I bet, because of this thick pot metal, because they had to have this for strength for that hood, for the hood latch. So the Highlander at 40 is the high bidder on this cool Ford badge. Like I said, I like these enough that I've always had one saved for me for a really long time. Number one's cussing his exchange rate, and I know that kills you guys from Canada. That exchange rate is brutal. So Alec at 43, we'll get ready to put this thing on the timer. See if there's anything else I need to show you on it, but I think that pretty much covers it. We've got the dimensions on it. Let's go ahead and get this thing live. Alec at 43 is my high bidder, and we are live. So ticking along on this thing, Alec at 43 is my high bidder. Like I said, they are neat pieces. I've always had one. I just didn't take the time to repaint the red, white, and blue in these 3 diamond inserts. This is a gold finished insert. So then you paint the red, white, and blue, whatever order those go in on there. The Highlander's back in at 45. Or excuse me, 44. The Highlander at 44. 30 seconds has passed. Ticking along towards that minute. Throw a Hudson badge up there because I know you guys are getting thirsty too. So, like I said, I've always liked them. It is a heavy-duty piece. You don't want to get hit in the head with it. So, you don't want to drop it on your toe. You want to drop it from your hand and have it land on your toe. That wouldn't feel too whippy either because this is kind of a pretty good chunk of iron. The Highlander at 44 on these 1963 Ford hood latch handle for 63 full size. 1 minute has now passed. Please keep in mind that delay is a little wonky tonight. Solidly seeing a 15-second delay. So I will give you the minute 30. And when you see that minute 30, please remember we are just about done on your end. Tweely D says it would make a good weapon. It's got some bulk to it. It really does. Alec at 46 is my high bidder. I've got Alec at 46 as we're coming up on the minute and a half point. So please remember by the time you see this, we're just going to be about ready to wrap up. Alec at 46 is my high bidder on this one. And we're ticking along. 20 seconds left. Alec at 46. The Highlander's back in at 47. As we've got 15 seconds left. The Highlander at 47. Just about ready to wrap this up. 10 seconds left. Keep an eye on both formats. The Highlander at 47. 5 seconds left. And that will do it. The Highlander at 47 is the high bidder. So, cool piece. Glad you got that one. Pete says, nice item, even for a Ford. Well, like I said, those are good pieces. I've always liked them. Sounds good, Highlander. That'll work perfect. We got all kinds of cool stuff here. It's stacked everywhere. Let's slide a license plate in there. We'll slide a license plate in. We'll do a hood ornament. We'll do some more horn buttons. We'll do some more emblems. Then we got some more cans. License plate time. Full-size license plate. A little bit earlier. This one is over 50 years old. Kansas 1970 truck plate. Any 1970 models out there? Kind of a cool light green color. The 70 was a very interesting color. Number one, when the aliens land and make new currency, he's going to get everything. Yeah, I know that exchange rate is brutal. When I was at Mecum, they have on the bottom of the screen at Mecum, they have U.S. dollars, Canadian, the euro, and I think Australian, all listed across the bottom of the screen. So, cars at 50 grand, and you look at that Canadian number, and it's kind of like, ooh, wow, yeah, I can see what you guys are up against. But anyway, the Kansas 1970 license plate. It's a very unique color that Kansas used in 1970. It's a really cool green. Yes, Tony, we do have a magazine as well. I don't know how well you guys can see this green. It's kind of a minty green with the white border. Like I said, this is a truck plate, 1970. This was Rice County. This was a county just next to Barton County. Pretty decent shape. It's not all twisted up or bent. A little bit of flaking, but it's on the back. This, the letters and the letters and these numbers are embossed. This is a sticker. Jason's going to start us off at 10 on the 1970 Kansas license plate. Get my notes made here so we can get rolling on this thing. This is a standard size plate. Yeah, old school. It is kind of a seafoam green. I don't know what it looks like on your screen, but that's kind of what it is. Yeah, the Prince of Darkness had the plate. Yeah, 1666. This is a regular full-size license plate measuring in at 12 inches by almost 6. The sticker was the rating for the truck. Since this was a truck tag, I think that was regular fuel mean, like not diesel, and 8M was like a rating on it, like a weight rating. Number one's coming in at 16 on the 1970 license plate. Like I said, the 70 was a very unique color. Kansas, the earlier Kansas plates back in the 50s actually had the corner cut out of these. By now, they had gone to just stamping them in. This is actually the shape of the state of Kansas. This is the river. I think it's the Missouri River that cuts off this corner of the state. So the way this is framed up to this corner, this is actually supposed to look like the state of Kansas. And that's what this corner is a little bit wonky for. I believe that's the Missouri River that cuts that off. John, exact color of my mint green and black 59 Rambler wagon. So Alec at 20 is where we're at on the 1970 Kansas truck plate. Bill says it looks turquoise. Yeah, and that's why I was wondering. That's why I was trying to be clear. It is kind of a minty green color with white letters on this one. So Alec at 20 is our high bidder on this one. We're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling right now. We are live on the timer on the 1970 Kansas license plate. Alec at 20 is my high bidder. Ticking along, here we go on the Kansas license plate. Alec at 20 is my high bidder on this minty green 1970 Rice County, Kansas truck plate. Ticking along, coming up on that 30-second mark. And here we go. 30 seconds has passed. Sebastian says if it had some speckled rust, it'd be mint chocolate chip. Yep, that's true. Rusty Nails made it tonight. Glad you're here with us. Alec at 20 on the 1970 Kansas truck plate. As we're ticking along, we're getting close to that 1 minute mark. And I've got Alec at 20 still. And there you guys can see we've hit the 1 minute mark. Ticking along, please be remembering we've got this delay. Mike from New Waverly, Texas just jumped on with us. We've seen 15-second delays tonight. Please remember that if you're going to try to jump in at the end on any of these pieces. Alec at 20. I've got Jason at 22 on the Kansas plate is my high bidder. Jason at 22. As we're coming up on that minute and a half point, please remember with the delays, when you see that minute 30, it means we are just about done. Jason at 22 is my high bidder as we hit the 1 minute, 30-second mark. So if you're thinking about your max bid, please be thinking about that. Please be getting it in. Lee's in at 25. 20 seconds left. I've got Lee at 25. Dennis came in at 24, but I already had Lee at 25. As we come up on 15 seconds left, we're ticking down. Lee at 25 is my high bidder. 10 seconds left. Alec came in at 24. I already had Lee at 25. Sebastian's at 29. We're just about ready to wrap this up. And that will do it. Sebastian at 29. Sebastian was our high bidder. He snuck that one in at the end at 29. And Lee came back. Number one came back. Everybody was just a little bit late on that delay. Sounds like the delay is really tricky tonight, so... Hudson badge. Let's see. Who wants to do an Emblem pack? How about we do a Chevy Emblem pack? And I do actually have another Impala piece. I just dug it out of the box. We'll do a Chevy Emblem pack. We'll do another can or so. We got another Plymouth piece here. Nope, no 62 Impala emblems tonight, Mark. But we're going to do an Emblem pack on Chevrolet again. And I need to do a Ford pack too here one of these days. But let's check these out. We'll do 3 of them at once. This is going to be 3 for 1 money. Okay, here we go. No Apollo or Megan tonight. We'll start off with, this one's got a piece of tape on it because I've got it marked. This is a Chevrolet tailgate script off of the back of a 58 Chevy wagon. Nice chrome, not all pitted up. Nice, bright, shiny chrome. Mounting studs are intact. It is 10 inches long, and it's just Chevrolet in script. So we've got that one. This is going to be number one piece. These are all going to be one bid. We've also got a Bel Air off of about a 55 or 56 era Bel Air. Beautiful condition on this as well. Nice, bright, shiny chrome. Mounting studs still intact. It is 10.5 inches long. Number one's a Chevy Yeoman. I think that was off of a Brookwood. I think is what that one was actually off of. And about an inch high on the Bel Air. And the last emblem in this Chevrolet emblem pack, an Impala off of about a 1960 Impala. This one does have a few pits in it, but it's not broken up. The chrome still has a super bright shine. Mounting studs intact. So we're going to do all of those at one shot. Alex is going to start us off at 30 right out of the gate on them. So 3 emblems on this pack. The 58 tailgate, the Bel Air that's mid-50s, 55, 56, and the Impala off of about a 60. The Impala, I didn't give you a length on the Impala. Charles at 33 is my high bidder on them as of right now. The Impala, 7 3/4 on the Impala. Mark at 40 is my high bidder. David came in at 40, but I already had Mark at 40. Zach's in at 60 on the Chevrolet emblem pack. All 3, one bid. The only one with, this one, like I said, if you can see here, it has some pitting on it. But overall, these look great. That's right, Bill, great toolbox bling. He's in it. Bill's at 41, but I've got Zach at 60 on Facebook is my high bidder as of right now on the entire pack. All 3 of these, like I said, these are all pretty flat. The 58 tailgate emblem is pretty much flat. The Bel Air is pretty much a flat piece. And the 60 Impala is not. It's got a little bit of a curvature to it. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Sam's knee-deep in a bidding war on Gunbroker, so that's probably not going to be cheap either. So I've got Charles at 65 on all 3 of these Chevrolet emblems. All 3 for one money. Great pieces, great bling. All original metal pieces. Studs intact. That's right, Rush Nails. That's only $20 a piece. That ain't a bad deal. So Kevin tried to PayPal for the raffle and got a notification that I received via funds for the website. Yeah, you can give me a shout tomorrow, Kevin, if you want. If you want to give me a call, we can try to figure that out and see what's going on with that. But anyway, that's what we've got going on the 3 Chevrolet emblems. Great pieces. Where are we at? Charles at 65. We're going to get ready to put this on the timer. Charles at 65 is my high bidder. We are live. We're ticking down on that 2-minute mark. On the Chevrolet, the Bel Air, and the Impala. Like I said, a little bit of pitting on the Impala. These other 2 look great. They're cool pieces. I've got Zach at 60. See if I can keep them all kind of held up here. There we go. Big trifecta type pointy thing. And 30 seconds has passed. Ticking down to that 2-minute point. Be thinking about your max bids. Charles at 65 is my high bidder as of right now on the 3 pieces. Ticking along towards the 1-minute mark. Charles at 65. All 3 Chevrolet emblems, 1 pack. You're going to get all 3 of them on one deal. Keep a hold of these goofy things. And 1 minute has now passed, so please be thinking about that max bid if you're going to jump in on this thing. Like I said, we've got some weird delays tonight. We know we've always got an 8 to 10 second delay tonight. We're seeing some stuff up to 15 seconds. So please keep that in mind as well. On all 3 of these, Zach at 70. I've got Zach at 70 on the 3 Chevrolet emblems. Coming up on that 1.5-minute mark, so please remember, once you see this 1.5 minutes, we are just about done. If you're going to try to jump in at the end on this thing, Zach at 70 is our high bidder. 1.5 minutes left. here we go. We're ticking down. Zach at 70 is my high bidder. Charles is in at 77 with 20 seconds left. Charles at 77 is my high bidder. 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds. Charles at 77 is my high bidder. Pete at 82. I've got Pete at 82. 5 seconds left. Pete at 82 is my high bidder. Pete at 82, and that is our winner. Pete at 82. Great pieces. Kenny tried to sneak in there at 83. You're about 5 seconds late. So I got Pete at 82 on the Chevrolet Emblems. Now, we had somebody ask about a Plymouth piece, and I had a great Plymouth piece set out already. So we're going to do it next. I want to polish it up a little bit. I've seen a smudge on it. I don't want to show it to you with a smudge on it. Zach says, great win, Pete. Alec liked the Bel Air piece. Let's do another horn button. We had somebody ask about Plymouth stuff, and this is a cool Plymouth horn button that I had set out with great colors. Got the ship in it. Neat piece. I hope you guys like it as well. We'll see. We'll see if anybody bids on it. This is an early 50s, I believe, piece. Plymouth horn button. Add something to the Plymouth, but don't add it till after the bids. So this little Plymouth horn button is a pretty neat piece. You can see the ship in it. This is concave. It's kind of dished in here. I don't know if you guys can tell it if I can get the light just right. The ship is gold against kind of an eggshell or kind of a light gray or light silver background, kind of an off-white. Chrome bezel all the way around it. Chrome looks great. Nice, bright shine. This has little mounting tabs on it that actually slid in and twisted. I think it's early 50s. Sebastian X-Ray's not messing around. He's going to start us off with 20 bucks and get us rolling on this thing. All three tabs are there. Like I said, there's different ways different things you could do this. Alec wants a close-up. Let me try see if you guys can see it good on Facebook or not. You can see the gold in the ship on it, in the chrome. The back of it, you can see the plastic insert where the ship is actually in it. So it's a neat little piece. Let's see. I've got Mark at 25. I got the Highlander in at 26 now. Sebastian, vintage motorcycle stuff, not much. Not really much motorcycle stuff at all. The Highlander at 26 is our current high bid on the Plymouth badge. Charles is in at 30. Let me give you a dimension on this, and then we'll get it on the timer. Number one says that's a good drink badge for somebody's channel. Everybody can get ship-faced. That's a good point. Never thought of that, number one. We should have kept it for that. This is across the back, about 2 3/4 in diameter. It does taper towards the front a little bit. So you can see how it kind of tapers up over here on the front. So Charles at 30 and Alec at 30 are both my high bidders at this point. I don't know who came in first. I was trying to get my tape measure. So as of right now, I've got Charles and Alec. Alec's in at 34 now. So he already just bumped himself up, bumped it up to take over. Let's go ahead and get the timer ready on this thing. Alec at 34 is my high bidder, and let's kick this thing off. We are live. Charles at 37 is now the high bidder. Ticking down on this thing. Let me get my notes made here on the Plymouth horn button. And I've got David W. now at 38. Did Shop 209 make it here yet? Nope, have not. Don't think I've seen him on here. Bill Alderman, nautical touch for a land yacht. Yep, that's about right. Rusty Nell says that's a small airbag. That's a very small airbag, that's for sure. But it is a cool piece. Ticking along here. Here we go. 40 seconds have passed. We're going to work up towards that minute mark. Like I said, we've got weird delays tonight. Please keep that in mind, everyone. As we come up towards, we're working towards that 1 minute point. I'll try to show you guys a little bit where we're at as we're ticking along here so you guys can keep track. Just we've got weird delays tonight. Charles at 40 is now the high bidder. as we come up. The 1 minute mark has passed. I will keep you posted when you see that 1 minute 30 mark. We know we've got some of you guys with a 15-second delay. So when you see that next one at 1:30, you better be thinking about your max bid and be throwing it out there, because some of you guys are getting pretty good at sniping stuff. It's just been a little wonky tonight because of the delays that we've been dealing with. Charles at 40 on the Plymouth button is the high bidder. Ticking along here, the Highlander is in at 41. As we're just about to that minute 30 mark, and there we go. We are at a minute 30, so by the time you see this, we're going to be just about done. The Highlander at 41 is the high bidder. Jason's thirsty. Let's give you guys a Hudson badge while we're getting into the last 20 seconds of the Plymouth horn button. The Highlander at 41, 15 seconds left. Ticking down on this one. 10 seconds left. The Highlander at 41. Charles is in at 49 with 5 seconds left. Charles at 49. 3 seconds left. And that will do it. Charles snuck in there with about 5 seconds left at 49 to get the Plymouth horn button. So, Charles at 49 on the Plymouth horn button. Cool piece, great condition. Always like those. Who wants to do a hood ornament? We haven't done a hood ornament yet tonight. And what the heck, we'll throw a horn button in with the hood ornament. Let's do that. Let's do a hood ornament and a horn button. 1950 Chevrolet hood ornament. For the most part, other than we're in pretty good shape on getting paid, number one. I think X-Ray Dean didn't pay for one, but he sent me a note saying that he had trouble with PayPal and he sent in a check. I think that's about it. I think Sebastian's got a couple things to pay for. But for the most part, I think, other than, the ones that I haven't gotten yet physically in my hand, I already know, I know where we're at on them. So, yeah, we're actually in pretty decent shape. So, but yeah, if they don't pay, after a few weeks, yeah, we'll re-auction stuff. So, secret horn button, don't show it till after the auction's won. Well, everybody's going to want to know what they're bidding on, though. But I guess we could. I don't know. It's a Chevy piece as well. That's why I was going to throw it in with the Chevy hood ornament. Few pits in this one. Nice, bright, shiny chrome. It's not busted up. It's not chipped up. It is curved for the hood. And has a big point on it, like a bullet coming right at you. Now, I'm going to throw a horn button in with it. Anybody want to see the horn button, or do you want it to be a surprise? Number one wants it to be a surprise. So, what do you guys think? Do you want to see the horn button, or do you want it to be a surprise? Jason's at 20. Number one's at 22 on the 1949 or 50 Chevy hood ornament. I think it's 50. I'm not sure, but I think it's a 50. A little bit of pitting, bright, shiny chrome. Tweedledee at 30 on the Chevy hood ornament. Alex at 10. Normal wants to see it. Okay. So we got one that wants to see it, one that doesn't want to see it. What do you guys think about the horn button that's going with this? It's going to be included. Rusty Dale says just close your eyes, number one. So I think everybody wants to see it. So we'll go ahead and show it to you. It sounds like everybody wants to see it. And it's not. It's just a nice little basic horn button. That's why I'm throwing it in, because it's not a super valuable piece, but it is a cool piece. Everybody wants to see it. Number one, close your eyes. Zach is in at 40 on it. Here's the little horn button. It's the same era of Chevrolet. It's kind of cool. What I like about these is it has this shield behind it. Obviously, it's got the bow tie, but it's got this shield, almost a Cadillac-looking type shield in this horn button to kind of give it some class, I think. Jason said no show, but most of you guys want to see it. So this has a stainless ring around the outside edge, which has a nice shine. I've got Zach at 40 on Facebook is my high bidder. You can see the back where the plastic isn't stamped in there, cast in there. You can see the back side of where that, it's kind of tough to see on the camera because of the hood. It's kind of hooded and shaded. But you can see on the back where it has this, almost a crest type, Cadillac type look to it. Highlander says it'd be a lot cooler if it was a Ford. So we're going to throw that in with it because it's a cool little piece. Let me give you some dimensions on the horn button. It is a flat mount deal, so you could do a lot of things with it as far as display type piece. It is about 2.5 across the back on this button. I've got Alec at 45 as of right now on the Chevrolet horn button and the Chevrolet hood ornament. So there we go. 2 for 1 on the Chevrolet pieces. Let's go ahead and get the timer set up on this one. Alec at 45. Jason says, not knowing would drive the price up because he didn't think I'd put junk in. Well, no, that's what it is. So if you know that's there again, it's not super exciting, not $100 piece, but a nice little cool addition to the hood ornament. So maybe we'll do that sometime. Maybe we'll do a surprise deal. We'll see. But I think most people do want to know, just like, you know, with Highlander wanting Ford stuff, obviously not interested in Chevy stuff. So, but let's kick her off. Let's go. Let's get live. Alec at 45 is the high bidder on the hood ornament and horn button pack. Update my notes since we put the horn button in there with it, so whoever wins this thing doesn't get shorted and I forget to send something with it. As we're taking along, Zach is in at 55. I've got Zach at 55. Mark came in at 45, but I've got Zach at 55 as of right now. We've just passed the 30-second point on the timer. Zach at 55 is my high bidder as we're working up towards the 1 minute mark on the hood ornament. Kenny is in at 65 as we're getting close to 1 minute. Kenny at 65 is my high bidder. 1 minute has now passed. That's what number one says. It says that's number one's point exactly. It's all good stuff, good to excellent condition items. So one surprise blind auction. We might try it. I'll figure something out. And there's enough of you guys that want to do it. You know, number one started the idea, but a lot of you guys are kind of pitching in. It might be worth trying. We may do that. Alec hit it at 60, but I've got Kenny at 65 on YouTube. As we come up on that minute 30 mark, please be thinking about your max bids if you're going to dive in on this thing. Zach is in at 75. We're getting down on this one, coming up on the 20-second mark. I've got Zach at 75, 20 seconds left. Zach at 75 is my high bidder. 15 seconds left. 10 seconds is now. We're only down to 10. I've got Zach at 75 as my high bidder. Just going to wrap this up. Is anybody going to snipe it? 5 seconds left. Zach at 75. And that will do it. I've got Zach at 75. That thing could be used as a weapon, too. There's a lot of pop metal in the end of that thing. You don't want to get bonked upside the head with one of these, that's for sure. Okay, I think I'll do a couple more because we're not going to do any next week. We'll tag a couple of extra ones on here. We usually do 8 to 10 a night, but we've done 10. Well, if anybody want to do 2 more, because we're not going to do anything next week, I think we'll maybe 2 more. Bud's waiting to get for the Pinto giveaway. After I get back from race week, I think I'll probably put the Pinto on eBay. I'll throw it on Facebook, then I'll probably throw the Pinto on eBay. So unless somebody's interested, if you guys are interested, give me a shout. Number one says, now imagine you get to see the hood ornament. Excellent item and big fun surprise. We'll try to work something like that in. Old School wants to do another can, so let's do another can. And we'll do another can, and let's do... Nope, William, no toys tonight. Bill says save the Pinto wagon for my auction. I don't really want it sitting around that long. I need to move it. I thought about doing that, but I need to move it. The other problem with me running cars through my own auction is, and I've done it before. I did sell one last year, just a cheaper one that I was going to let roll. But what I don't like about that is I don't need to be dealing with my stuff. I need to be taking care of our consigners. I need to be worrying about getting their cars sold more so than worrying about my own cars. That's another reason why I don't like to run my own stuff through my own auctions. So, okay, how about we do a can and one more emblem? So, but no toys tonight. I should have dug some toys out. That's just one. I got done. Let's see. We got back about 7:30 last night. Ran home, dropped everything at the house, went and ate, and then didn't get back to the shop till about 9:30. And had some other stuff to do. Didn't get on this stuff till about 10 or 11, and I got done about 1 this morning. So toys were about the one thing that I didn't get to, but I will try to get that for 2 weeks from tonight when we're back on live. So Nate says take the Pinto on race week. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Rusty knows, what am I asking for the Pinto? I'm thinking probably around 5,800 is kind of what I'm thinking, somewhere right in that ballpark. Right around when it was new. It was 5,404 new. So, Bill says went to $1.75. Talking about gas or something. So trying to keep track of that stuff. We'll do a Ford badge pack and we'll do one more can. How about that? And then we'll get on to the magazine. Ford badges, Ford emblems. We'll do a set of Ford badges. Let's just go ahead and roll with those. Crack my neck. You guys are probably getting thirsty though, right? I haven't given you one of those lately. Let's get these knocked out and then let's get into the magazine. Just as bring the Pinto to Mecum, Kansas City. Like I said, I want to get it out of my way. That's actually kind of a problem. 5 years ago, I built a 6,000 square foot building to put cars in, my good cars. And now I need to start ordering stacker lifts. So yeah, that's kind of a problem. So, Ford badge pack, Ford emblems, pack of Ford emblems, all 3 for 1 bid. We're going to start off. We're actually going to hit 3 different generations. How about that? 3 different generations of Ford stuff. And then we'll do a can and then we'll get into the magazine. Starting off with one of and we've done some of these before. These are not extremely rare. They're just a cool piece to have. On the Model A era grill radiator shell badges. These are enamel. This one's kind of scratched up, got some chipping in it. Really great blue color on this one. It is nice and flat. This was one of those where they push this button on the back to kind of press it down on the grill shell. These are 2 7/8. That's right. Brian says it's a badge bundle. That's exactly what it is. About 2 7/8 on this thing, almost 3 inches. And it is 1 3/8 inches tall. So this is late 20s, early 30s. Let's jump up into the 40s and do a Ford horn button. This is embossed into the kind of a Bakelite. I don't even know if I call it a plastic as much as a Bakelite. Tabs on the back. Highlight any Kenworth or Peterbilt smalls? No, not really. Don't really have much there. Alex already in at 20. We ain't even got to all of them. Sebastian's in at 25. We ain't even got to the last badge yet. This is about 2 3/8 in diameter. Jason says it's a tractor button, so it's probably at 40s, early 50s then on the tractor button or car, whatever it is. I thought it was like early 40s car, but it could be tractor as well. Still has the Ford symbol emblazoned on it. And then we're going to jump up to the 60s. I think this is a 1964. This is the Ford logo off of like a 64 Ford full size. It is 5.5 on the length on this one. Jason says he's guessing, so 5.5 on this one. Alec needs a close-up on the horn button. So there we go. We'll try to get that up there so you guys can get a good look at it. And you guys on Facebook, I apologize. The way Facebook has reformatted their screen, I have to scroll way up to see what I'm showing you. And to do that, I can't see the comments. So anytime you guys on Facebook need to see something better, please tell me. YouTube, I can see exactly what I'm showing you. Facebook, I cannot, the way they have reformatted these screens. That's right, Mark. I got cat hair everywhere. So, Alec at 30 on the Ford badge bundle. That's right, Sebastian. It is kind of worn on the logo. Because it's a horn button. So, we're going to do 3 different eras of Ford. Late 20s, early 30s. I think 40s, maybe early 50s. I think it's early 40s car, but I'm just guessing. And then up into the 60s. So, a whole pack of Ford badges. Let me get my notes caught up here. And Alec at 30 is my high bidder on the badge bundle we got right here on the Ford stuff. So, we'll get ready to put this on the timer. We'll get everything reset here. I think I've got you dimensions on everything. Alec at 30 is my high bidder, and we are live. We are ticking down as of right now. On all 3 Ford pieces, we did a Chevy bundle. Let's do a Ford bundle. Is the Chevy stuff better? Do people like the Chevy stuff better than the Ford stuff? I don't know. The Chevy emblems were a little shinier, but they were all newer. We didn't have some of these earlier pieces in there, so we'll see what happens. As we are coming up on the 30-second mark. So, minute and a half left on this one. We're boogieing along. All 3 Fords for one piece. All you guys talking about gas prices, I'm starting to think you're bidding. So, as I'm watching for numbers. Anyway, all 3 pieces, one money, ticking along here. Coming up on that 1 minute mark, Alec at 30. Mark says the Chevy stuff is what he was in for. So Highlander says 10, but I've already got Alec at 30. As we come up on the 1 minute mark, 1 minute has now passed. Be thinking about your maximum bids. When I show you that minute 30, we're going to be just about done. Highlander's 35. Okay, that's probably where you were going to begin with, I would imagine. But Highlander at 35 on the Ford badge bundle. Ticking along here, coming up on the minute and a half point. Like I said, when I show you that minute and a half, please remember some of you guys are dealing with a 15-second delay, and it's going to be pretty much done at that point. So, yeah, okay, Highlander was delayed, exactly. As we hit the minute and 30 point, so that delay has been kind of tough tonight. So you put the 10 in right away. So coming up on that 20 seconds left, I've got the Highlander at 35 on the Ford badge bundle. 15 seconds left on this pack of Ford emblems and ornaments. Highlander at 35, 10 seconds left. Just about ready to wrap this one up. Sebastian's in at 38. I've got 5 seconds left. Sebastian at 38. Anybody else coming in? And that will do it. Sebastian at 38 on the Ford badge bundle. And Highlander come in at 39. We were a few seconds late on that one. Okay, one more can, then we're going to do the magazine. Highlander says boo. And Alec came in at 37 as well. Of course, we already had Sebastian at 38, so that was a little bit delayed as well. That delay's been pretty tough tonight. Kevin just got in. Glad you're on with us. One more to go tonight. I got a few of these on this deal from my buddy, so we're going to sell one of them. Of course, I'm going to keep some of them, but we are going to sell one of them. I may sell one later on, but I'm going to go through these a little bit later, but I am going to sell one of them for sure, so we're going to do that can next. On the GM Vinyl Top Cleaner can, these are neat little cans. This is a paper label can. This is probably late 60s, early 70s, maybe mid 70s. Obviously, that's when vinyl tops were really crazy. No, Highlander, I don't really have any KW or Pete stuff. That stuff's all, I'm not set up to mess with that bigger stuff. And I don't really have much trim or ornamentation off of them because I'm not really in that world. So I think it's cool stuff. I just don't really have anything. Jason's starting us off at 10 on this thing. Like I said, paper label, late 60s, maybe up to the mid 70s era. Non-flammable, keep out of reach of children. Direct GM vinyl top cleaner is used for cleaning convertible tops and vinyl hard tops. This material will not harm paint, windows, rubber, chrome, etc. when used according to directions. Directions for use: saturate a clean cloth with vinyl top cleaner. Wipe onto surface using a circular scrubbing motion. Wipe off excess material from top using clean cloth. Let top dry for 15 minutes. Material will not streak, soften, vinyl, crack, or peel. Distributed by General Motors Parts Division, General Motors Corporation, Detroit, Michigan. So, anyway, lots of bids coming in on this thing. I know, Highlander, it's tough out there, but that's what's great. Everybody on there is such a great sport, and I do appreciate everybody playing along and the camaraderie and everybody hanging in there. And we don't have the attitudes and the egos. Everybody plays well, and it's great. And the sportsmanship is awesome that you guys have. Lots of bids on this one. Dennis at 18 is my high bidder. Does still have the original cap on it. There sounds like there might be a little bit in it, but not much. There's a little bit of something in there. I'll dump out of it, but not very much. There's just a little bit in the bottom. Bottom looks nice. Couple of scuffs and scrapes. I think that's a tear on the black part of the label there, but still a cool can. Dennis at 18 is my high bidder. Let me give you some dimensions on this can. 4 3/4 without the cap. So this is 4 3/4 without the cap. If we go up to the cap, we're a little over 5. And it is about 2 3/4 wide. So there we go. Bill Alderman, keep out of reach of children. He says, I'm out. Alec at 22 is our high bidder at this point on the GM vinyl top can. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing ready to go on the timer. I do believe it is the original top. You know, it doesn't look like anything wonky. Screws on, fits well. So I think it's the original top for the can. Cool piece. And let's go. We are live. Alec at 22 is my high bidder on this can. Taking along here on our last auction piece for tonight, we did squeeze a few extra in since we are not going to do any next week. Dennis at 23. We got Dennis in at 23. And we're coming up on the 30-second mark. Dennis at 23 is our high bidder. 30 seconds has passed, so we're working towards the 1 minute mark. Obviously, our delay has been really goofy tonight, guys. I apologize. There's not much I can do with the system. We just got to kind of work with it, work around it, and do what we can. So Dennis at 23 is my high bidder on the GM vinyl top cleaner can. As we're coming up on, I got Alec at 25. Alec's back in at 25 as we come up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has now passed. Please be thinking about that maximum bid. Alec at 25 on the vinyl top cleaner can. As we're working up towards that 1.5-minute point. And we'll get ready to get into tonight's magazine here real shortly, and then we're going to talk about the raffle. We're going to talk about some new inventory, and we're going to talk about what's coming up, which we've already talked a little bit about what's coming up. And we're coming up on that 1.5-minute point. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Please remember, by the time you see this, we will be about done. Alec at 25 is my high bidder. I don't know if the part number still works or not. I doubt it. So, Alec at 25 is my high bidder. 15 seconds left on this one. I've got Alec at 25. Old School's got to jump off. Appreciate you being here. 10 seconds left. Alec at 25 is my high bidder. 5 seconds left. We're getting ready to wrap this one up. About ready to wrap up the auctions for the week. And that will do it. I've got Alec at 25 on the vinyl top cleaner can. So, Anyway, that'll do it. I appreciate everybody playing tonight. Oh, and Alec, by the way, when you paid me last week, you didn't use friends and family, so that actually cost you raffle chances because of what PayPal's taking. So you might double check that when you pay on this stuff for tonight. So just so you know that PayPal's taking some of your auction chances away from you. So anyway, great time tonight. Love the auctions. Appreciate everybody's participation. It's a ton of fun. It helps support what we're doing here for the time that I put into it. That's awesome. So, and that's all because of your guys' support. And I love the fact that you guys can, you get in on this stuff and play along. So, but no, Alec didn't snipe himself. We had 23 on Facebook. So Zach was giving Alec a bad time that he sniped himself, but no, we had 23 on Facebook. So no, that or he tried, maybe he hit another one he took back. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. But moving along, we better keep boogieing here. That's right. Tweet the D says congratulations to all the winners. I appreciate that. But let's get into the magazine and get boogieing. We're going to move up into the 70s stuff tonight. So how about Motor Trend from December of 1978? And like we talked about a little bit earlier, I'm a big fan of the Pontiac Firebirds in that era. That's what we've got on the cover of the December 1978 Motor Trend, the new 1979 Firebird. On eBay, it's very simple. The Highlander, nobody else's auto. All lowercase, all run together. Nobody else's auto is the user ID on eBay. So, but what do we got in this issue of Motor Trend? Obviously, when we do Motor Trends of this era, we start out with the Detroit report. We see what's going on in the world of Detroit at that point in time and what's going on and whether or not any of this stuff came true. There's a lot of stuff in the Detroit report that it's cool to look back and say that did or sometimes did not happen. Sometimes didn't happen for a long time. Jason likes Hudson's. That's right. We kind of got in the middle of the auctions. I've forgot to throw that at you guys here lately. But in the Detroit report, a couple of interesting tidbits in the Detroit report. Number one, it's weird. The Trans Am had the big bird on the hood, and the Firebird had a small one on the sail panel. Yep. But in the Detroit report, a couple of cool, interesting things. The Ultimate Blade, and I'm going to show this to you. You can see if you guys can make it out. There's an Eldorado Brome on the top picture, but that's actually not what we're going to look at. If we look right here, if you guys can see this, there again, I got to look up and see what you guys can see on Facebook. The Ultimate Blade, this little credit card looking thing they're sticking into a deal on the dash. Now, please remember, we're in the December of 1978 is when we are. So we've got to take ourselves back out of 2022 and the technology that we deal with today and put ourselves into 1978, going into 1979. Number one says Detroit report needs theme music like an 80s local newscast. That's actually a pretty good one, number one. That's true. The Ultimate Blade. In some circles, a credit card is known as a blade because you can slide it in things and shimmy things with it. But it's part of the Keycon Corporation's computerized car security system, which automatically locks the doors, hood, and trunk, disables the engine, raises all windows if they happen to be power, and closes the sunroof. The Keycon Blade activates its system when the driver removes the ignition key, gets out, and closes the door. If said driver happens to forget that the key is still in the lock, the car's horn will blast and the doors won't lock. The only way to get the wheels rolling again is when the driver enters with the standard key and then inserts a specially coded, sensitized card into the dash-mounted receptacle. So all the stuff that we're used to today as far as, the dingers and stuff to remind you of the key and stuff like that. This is, of course, they had some of that in 78 as well. But this will, not wouldn't let you hit your power locks with the key in the ignition, things like that we have now in today's technology. And then if it did screw up, you had to have your little coded key to slide into your dash receptacle to make it work. And you got to remember, we're in December of 1978. With a $359 list price, the device is definitely not a must item for your Fairmont, but possibly for your Ferrari. So, big jump sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, I think that's probably what it boiled down to. So I thought that was an interesting tidbit. The next piece in the Detroit report, obviously, as we know, in 1979, the GM luxury cars, the Tornado, the Riviera, and the Eldorado were all downsized to a long nose, short deck car that ran all the way up into 85. That car, just since that car came out, and it also took, the 78 Eldorado was still a full-size car, very similar to the 76 convertible, the last convertible. They made that Eldorado up until 78. The Riviera was actually downsized a little bit in 78. But the Tornado and the Eldorado were still big cars. So this is the other interesting part in this part of the Detroit report is from battleship to destroyer. Obviously, it's got a picture of the 79 Eldorado right here, the squared off rear roof, the short rear deck, the long nose. Battleship to destroyer is what they're talking about in this article, and it's given some specs on it. Number one, I remember when the dash mounted receptacle was an ashtray. Yep. David W., hope they have a Dodge Magnum write-up. I think we'll see. I think there was an ad at least. From battleship to destroyer, enclosed, please find specifications for 1978 1979 Eldorados, which proves that sometimes smaller is sometimes actually bigger. Length in 1978, 224 inches. Length in 1979, 204 inches. 20 inches difference, almost 2 feet shorter. Width, 79.8 in 78 to 71.5 in 79. 8 inches narrower. Pete liked the smaller Eldos. Number one, they still had huge back seats in those coupes. Yep. And that's where we're getting at right now. Wheelbase, 126 on the 78, 114 on the 79. However, front leg room, 42 inches in 78, 42.8 in 79. Rear leg room, as number one just mentioned, rear leg room, 35.7 in 78, 39.4 in 79. So exactly as what number one just mentioned, they actually had more room inside on a smaller platform. And that's kind of cool. That's all they had was just the specifications over here in a little box to show the differences with the two platforms. Highlander just sent his payment perfect. I'll check that after we get off. Just make sure as long as we got some shipping info on there is the only thing I'm going to make sure I need on there, Highlander. So, let's see. Let's keep moving as we get into some of this stuff here. Like, there's always tons of stuff in the Detroit report. There's usually several pages of it, 3 or 4 pages of it. I usually just try to pick out a couple of them that are kind of interesting as we're rolling through here. But as we move up a little bit to the roving report, this was kind of interesting in the roving report. Pete says, I think number one was insinuating legroom. The legroom was on the ceiling. Could have been. Maybe that sounds like number one had some fun in one of those. In the roving report, the 4-door Corvette coming. Yep, there you got a picture of a 4-door Corvette. I've actually got another magazine that I almost grabbed, but instead of this one, we may do it here in a few weeks, on the 4-door Corvette. Yes, somebody actually did build one. William Disc will send some raffle money and put my shipping. That perfect. That'll work perfect. Not a problem at all, William. That'll be great. The 4-door Corvette. Remember the howling when Thunderbird went 4-door in the 60s? You'll hear it again shortly when one of the newest and most successful custom coach outfits in Southern California premieres its 4-door Corvettes. These new sedan versions will feature 4 individual roof hatch panels, a wide pillar between front and rear side windows, and stock rear windows on a stretch chassis with a full 4-place seating as opposed to the 2+2 arrangement. The price will be in excess of $50,000 per copy. So obviously I don't think they ever really took off. I don't ever remember seeing one in person. So Number one says they built about a dozen of them. So, man, that kind of gives us a little bit of information as well. David W. almost as bad as the four-door Avanti. The Highlander was 1 in 79. So I was 4 going into 79. But I thought that was an interesting tidbit from the roving report on the Corvettes. Obviously, with a Trans Am on the cover, that was a big article in it. Trans Am, the last of the supercars. After 10 years, America's best GT is still the one. Big non-color 2-page spread to introduce this article with the 69 and the 79 on both sides of the picture there. William, when I was a kid, I sent a drawing to GM asking them to build a four-door Corvette. Number one says they was a fiberglass company that supplied the wide-bodied C3s. Alec just says it's ugly. Just plain and simple. But a lot of specs, detail, talks about the Trans Am. Obviously has some information about the 69 and some information about the 79. Obviously, one of the original 697, 69 Trans Ams built right here. Then up to like a 73 and then the 79. Now, one interesting thing that to note, Pontiac Trans Am production. Now, as we just mentioned, there were 697 of them built in 69, 8 convertibles. The rest were all coupes. And we look at these numbers as they kind of tick along here. And we'll see if anything looks familiar, if anybody remembers a significant thing that happened in history as we go through these numbers. Starts clear down here with 697 in 1969. I hope you guys on Facebook can see this. And ticks along here. Trans Am production, pretty low throughout the early 70s. 74, they made 16,255 cars. Or no, 10,000, excuse me. 75, 27,000 cars were made. 76, they were up to 46,000 cars. 77 ticks along, and I think there was some sort of significant event that had something to do with Trans Ams in 1977 that maybe some of us remember about, a black Trans Am and a truckload of Coors. Yeah. In 76, they sold 46,700 Trans Ams. In 77, they sold 68,745 Trans Ams. In 1978, you got to remember, Smoking the Bandit came out around this time. I think into May. I think it was Memorial Weekend of 77 was when the movie was released. The cars were actually 76s with 77 front ends. So the movie came out Memorial Weekend of 77. So we're just about into 78 production. So sales went to 68,745 in 77 and 93,341 in 78. So if there was ever a home run in product placement, that shows it right there. And I read an article that all the way up until they quit producing Trans Am in 2002, whenever that movie was shown on TV, typically it was shown in the fall. I know, because I used to watch it every year, because that was back when you had to buy stuff on VHS in the late 80s, early 90s. Sometime in the fall, they always showed that. I think maybe it was on TNN, back when it was the Nashville Network. I think they showed it once every fall. Black Trans Am sales spiked after that movie was on TV. So that's right. Number one says, give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper. That's right. That's there again. Obviously, significant deal. Huge. Product placement. So amazing. That's right, Kenny. Don't you cuss on this here radio. And Trans Ams just, were bonkers at that point. Obviously, still have a huge following, to this day. So, but there again, there was the article with the cover car on the Trans Am. And we'll kind of keep working through here. A couple of more articles we want to catch before we get into some ads. One article, Ford versus Chevy. We had a lot of Ford versus Chevy on here tonight. This probably isn't exactly what a lot of you guys had in mind, but Two great rivals go head-to-head in the scaled-down family sedan market. There again, we're looking at the 1979 Fords and Chevrolets, one being the, of course, Ford LTD, the other being the Chevrolet Caprice. There again, not a ton of color in these. Still, black and white pictures on the feature cars. And then, of course, some specifications on the road test data on both the Ford LTD and the Chevrolet Caprice for 1979. Test results on the Ford. The Ford they were both basic four-door sedans. The 79 Ford actually still had a 351 in it. I figured that would have been a 302, but this LTD was powered by a 351 V8. Ran the quarter mile in 18.8 seconds. It was a two-barrel 351. SAE net horsepower of 132 horses. So, not a rocket ship. The Caprice, powered by a 350 V8, still with a four-barrel. 170 horsepower versus the 132. And it was a 17.7 second quarter mile. Base price on the Caprice, $59.62. Base price on the LTD, $64.74. So the LTD was higher, but and here's kind of the crazy part: the Caprice or the LTD as loaded up with options was $10,000. The 79 Caprice with options was $95.42. So, and that's right, Jason. That is one of the greatest lines from that movie. When we get home, I'm gonna punch your mama right in the mouth. That's another great line from that movie, and I'm sure you guys are getting thirsty. So, Rusty Nail says he thinks he can run the quarter mile in 18 seconds. Yeah. One more article we want to catch, and this is because we're talking about the Pinto. 8 wee wagons under $4,700. An extra door opening to a flat floor adds utility to the economy of some subcompacts. The article on wee wagons, 8 wee wagons. Datsun, which we don't pay much attention to that stuff on here. The Honda, the Mazda, the Monza. Who remembers the Monza wagons? The Pacer wagon. Yep. You guys are thirsty. I see all the beers popping up now. And the Pinto. So actually, here's the Pacer wagon. Now, the Pacer wagon actually does not look a lot different than a regular Pacer, but it is a little bit longer, and it does actually have a different side window to it. Put the evidence in the car. That's right. But when we get back here to the comparative road test data, we've got some specifications on the selection of 8 wee wagons. I lost my hat, Daddy. I hope your empty head was in it. Bud says wee wagons, also known as a pony stock car. But here on the Pacer, if you guys can see it, because I've actually got one of these in stock. If anybody wants to do a Pacer wagon, I've actually got this exact car. You can see it has a little bit longer side window with a slider on it. That was the Pacer wagon. I've actually got a 78 Pacer wagon in stock. I got an 80 Pinto wagon in stock. So Cameron's on with us. So there's the 8 wee wagons that they tested for the December 78 issue of Motor Trend. Let's see. The Pinto then was base price of $4,075. The Pacer base price was $4,143. So these were all around $4,000 base price that they came out with on the wee wagon report for 1978. And the wee wagons is all I had for articles, but we got a lot of great ads. So that's some badge. Actually, a lot of great ads. No Magnum article, but there was some Cordoba stuff, but there wasn't much meat to it. So we kind of kept moving through that because we definitely want to get to some of these ads. Starting off with something that turned out to not be as wonderful as they made it out to be at this point. Remember, this is December of 78 as we're getting ready to roll into the Big Dump says the Pinto's ready for a Coyote. I'm not doing a Coyote swap on it. I know that. Cameron found some 50s car ads at his school. But something that kind of turned into not the best idea GM ever had. Oldsmobile announces phase 2 of the V8 diesel development program for passenger cars, introducing the new 4.3-liter diesel V8 for mid-size cars. Only Olds offers advanced design diesel V8s in 19 different models. So, obviously, there again, we're looking back with hindsight 2020, not the best plan. But at the time, it was new technology. It was something new. It was a big deal. They wanted to tell everybody about it. Pinto should get a Yamaha Show Taurus swap. Yeah, that would be a... Yeah, somebody can do whatever they want with it. I'm not going to do it. I know that. I don't have time to mess with the stuff that I want to mess with. Oh, another one of our 70s cigarette ads. There's only one reason to smoke, and the reason is taste. That's why I smoke Winston. This is a very, obviously, typically we see these rough and tumble Marlboro Man type ads. This guy's very business-like, suited up, ready to go to work type thing. A little bit different than a lot of these cigarette ads we've had. Like I said, we don't focus on the cigarette or alcohol ads in these magazines, but it's cool to take that little snapshot back in time. So I always like to try to catch a couple of them. Next ad, speaking of alcohol, who wants to go on a turkey hunt? That's right, wild turkey lore. Here we go. The classic wild turkey ad. We always have to catch the wild turkey ad. Doesn't matter what magazine we're looking at. If it has the iconic flying wild turkey, we have to stop for a minute and pay tribute to the wild turkey. This ad was in probably 98% of the magazines printed from 1977 to 1980, I think. So I remember it when I was a little kid. I think everybody remembers this ad. This quarter-page ad was everywhere. I don't think there's a few magazines from this era we looked at that didn't have it, but not very many. So got to go on a turkey hunt tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really wish we had time to do all the Smokey and the Bandit comments. There's so many great Smokey and the Bandit comments coming out. We won't finish the magazine. So Jason says, I think I'll have some. That's probably not a bad plan. We'll give you a Hudson badge to roll with that. Highlanders got to jump off. Appreciate you being here tonight. Another great ad. 2-page color ad. This thing's awesome. Heavy Metal. The 79 adult toys from Dodge. Some wild and crazy machines. This is a great ad. Definitely period correct. We've got the big custom van. We've got the little D50 sport truck. We've got the Power Wagon. Is it a Power Wagon or is it a Macho Wagon? No, it's a Power Wagon right there in the middle. I think the Macho Wagon, I remember they had a Macho Wagon as well. Of course, the Warlock. I've got a buddy doing a Warlock right now with a Hemi in it. And I think it's a 6.2 Hemi he's putting in his Warlock. And, of course, the Ram Charger. Dodge is into trucking like America is into jeans. So, definitely a super cool ad. Kevin Diggs, it's a very cool ad. 2D likes a Ram Charger. Scott says his favorite one's Moose Twit. Yep. Scott's excited about the turkey ad as well. So great Dodge ad. Another 2-page full color ad that I thought they did a very nice job on. And remember, this is December of 78. What's coming out in the Ford stables? The Fox Body. Introducing the new breed of the Fox Body Mustang. A whole new breed for 1979. Had the moonlight, the horse head. Very pretty ad, very colorful ad. But there again, this was a whole new car that they were really trying to push. So, Jay says Macho Wagon was on Simon & Simon. Everyone said Macho Wagons littered the yards up there for years. Another cool ad, not a car ad, but an equipment ad from the Sears Tire and Auto Centers, which are no more. Straight talk, good values and satisfaction. Save to the tune of 20% on all these super cool 70s testing equipment. Implic Wild Turkey 101. Way to go. Tweety Lee said they had emission controls in 79. Definitely a wildly different shape for Ford. Absolutely. Rusty Nails said his driveway's getting too small. I can't look at cars. What are you doing, dumb butt? Come up to visit again? Yes, you're kind of being a pain in the butt. Are you going to read the magazine? Stay off the keyboards. Stay off the keyboards. See, that's true. That's just a big job. I agree with. That is sad that there is no more Sears. Sears, an icon in the retail industry for years. Get off the keyboards. You're going to screw stuff up. I hope you didn't screw stuff up. Here we go. Oh, yeah, you just paged me up about, holy cow, I'm back before the auctions. Way to go, dummy. Okay. Back to where we should be since Gray Kitty messed up my feed. Can I see my sheets? Do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind when we're all hanging out here having a discussion? No, you could care less. All right, let's move you around. Sit here. Sit here and be a good dum-dum. Yes, look, say hi. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Yes, there you go. Say hi to everybody. Okay, park it or leave. You're in the way. Now I'm going to get right back. Stay off the keyboards. Off the keyboards. Number one just whistled for you. Did you hear number one whistle at you? Yeah, primer's a pain in the butt. Yes, you're a pain in the butt. Yeah, it's just, it's sad to see Sears go. I mean, my toolbox that I bought in high school as a craftsman, it was good for what I needed it for. So, I mean, I remember it all well. I'm going to try to get to another ad here, dummy. Do you mind? How about you sit over here like that? Yes, and be a good kitty cat so we can look at some more ads. Or just come right back and get right in the way. Yes, just do that. That's a much better plan. Come back right over here and get right in the way of everybody. I need this sheet you're standing on. You're turning into a pest. Yes, you're turning into a pest. Yes, meow. Yes, can I see my notes? You're going to let me look at my notes? Yes, I was gone last week, and now you're punishing me for being gone, aren't you? That's what I thought. That's right. She's not a bit sassy, Jason. She's just plain sassy. That's right. Number one, Sears was a big part of the automotive world. They were. I mean, they sold cars and trim almost always the Allstate. Yeah, absolutely. Sears was a huge part of the automotive world, and it's all gone now. Next ad, we're going to check out the Mercury version of the new little Fox body, the Capri. Once again, a big 2-page full-color ad. Yes. Yeah, don't mind us. Get your butt out of the camera, literally. Get off the keyboards. Off the keyboard. You're going to end up down on the floor. Yes, you. No, you can't do that, dummy. Okay, it's time for you to go down. You keep stepping on the keyboard and making a mess. Did they sell houses too? Yes, they did actually sell houses. You could buy kid houses from Sears. Number one, Sears sold Allstate cars and bikes. They sold the K car and Cavalier, and I think like a no option work truck. So that's right. Norma says the cat won't give up. She won't give up. She's being a pain in the butt. But another ad, this one being a Chevrolet ad. Tony says Penny has also sold car stuff, true. So, yeah, she's Max. I was gone. I've been gone. I left Tuesday. I just got back last night. She was a pain in the butt last night when I was trying to build all this. I finally sat her off the side of the desk. So she sat right here because my mouse is right here and whipped her tail where I was trying to get to the mouse. So, But a work of art. You could actually order your own Corvette poster. Limited offer. Send for your full color Corvette poster for only $5.95. So actually kind of a sketch caricature almost with IndyCar, the Corvette. You can order this full color poster of the new Corvette for $5.95 to hang on your wall. So a car ad, but they're also trying to sell you some stuff to hang on your wall to hopefully keep you motivated about buying a Corvette. So. And we're getting towards the back of the magazine. We've still got a few big ads to look at, but as we get into the back of the magazine, we see some of these little small black and white ads for the companies that didn't buy the big full color page ads. Glenn had JCPenney drag slicks on his first race car. This one caught my eye. Definitely caught my eye. Now, remember, this is December of 1978. Firebirds and Camaros had been around for about 12 years at this point. So not not really an old collector car yet. They were basic transportation. They were 12 years old. The first generation were just starting to wear out at that point. Number one, Sears up there had K-Car in all three forms and a Plymouth Scamp like a K-Car El Camino. The only option was transmission. So, Jason, Carlinville, Illinois is loaded with Craftsman houses. There's a few videos on YouTube about them. But as we get back into some of these smaller ads, this magazine, this ad caught my eye. New book for the Camaro enthusiast. Remember, the Camaro enthusiast, Camaro's only been around for 12 years. Anybody remember this? Pre-book it for your Christmas special. This magazine came out in 70, probably November of 78. $11.95 for the book for the Camaro enthusiast. Obviously today there's books about Camaros everywhere. But this is they were barely used cars at that point. And they had a collector's book out for Camaros. I thought that was just, there again, we're looking back with 2020 hindsight and saying, hey, today there's Camaro stuff everywhere. But in 79, 78, that was a little different deal. You're talking about a car that was barely just over 10 years old. Here comes the first full-length hardcover book about the great Camaro, written by Michael Lamb. It's a 144-page history of both generations, documenting the history of both generations, 10 years. So think back now and say, okay, I'm going to take a 2012 Camaro and I'm going to do all the documentation on this fifth-generation Camaro, which there's probably guys doing it, but who's paying that much of attention to it? Because it's still used car stuff. Well, that's what they were doing at this point. Complete with 287 photos in color and black and white. Many never published before. Order now and save special pre-publication price. $11.95 postpaid after Christmas. The regular price is $14.95. So act today. Satisfaction guaranteed. Gift card will be sent before Christmas if you order for someone else. Publication slated for October of 78. So number one, 74 Z28, maybe best hood decal no one knows about. Well, anybody that hangs out on here knows that I love the 74 Z28 hood decal. If you haven't caught the videos on my 74 Z28 project that I pulled out of a building a year ago, I got it in March of last year. You definitely got to check that out. Now, why did this book catch my attention? Now, remember, in October of 78, I had just turned 4. So I just turned 4 years old when this book came out. So when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, and I was really starting to like cars and stuff, this is what my mom and dad got me. This is mine that I've had since I was probably 7 or 8 years old. Look familiar? So that's what caught my attention about that. This is the exact book. I don't think it's dated. I know Mom wrote my name in it, but she did not date it when they got it for me. But there again, that's why we look back at this stuff. That's why we do it. That's why it's fun looking back with 2020 hindsight. But no, she wrote my name in the cover. But that was all she had. She didn't write a date or anything on when we got it. So anyway, it was obviously weird seeing that. They're doing a full study documentation book on a car that's 10 years old. And then but it's the actual book that I got that my parents got me when I was a kid. And I can see it advertised right here in this copy of December of 78 Motor Trend. So anyway, Just kind of a personal side note, but that's why I love these magazines from the late 70s, because there are little bits and pieces that I can relate to. Now, I didn't really get goosebumps. I just kind of chuckled. So, but a couple more ads that we want to catch. Another one of the small black and white ones, definitely the 78 type era. Eric, I bought my 69Z in 85. Not a big deal then, except it was fast. Kind of big deal now, too. Yep, I had a 69Z. I got rid of mine a couple years ago just because I was never going to get it done, so I got rid of it. And I like the second, third, and fourth gen cars so much better than the first gens anyway. I'm much more happier with my 74 than I was with my 69. I will absolutely do the 74. 69 I didn't really care about. Sheer comfort, sheepskin seat covers. Who remembers those things? Definitely that era. Yep. Yeah, it is kind of cool. They had it all these years and still have it. The exact same copy. Bill's got it as well. Here's another cool little ad from Mopar, full color 2-page ad on the Plymouth Arrow pickup truck. Who remembers these? Basically the Plymouth version of like a D50, but a big 2-page color action shot type ad for the Plymouth Arrow pickup. And this is another piece similar to the card that we talked about a little bit earlier in the Detroit report. You heard it was coming. You heard right. Make sure Santa hears about it. The Prince onboard computer. The Prince onboard computer. You've read about digital computers being available soon from Detroit. Now the first universal driver-operated automotive computer is available. It's a revolutionary electronic brain that's unquestionably going to be the ultimate option for 1979. What will it do for you? The Prince onboard computer provides more than 24 different kinds of information at the touch of a button. Data such as vehicle location, 1020 to see beers, miles to go on a trip, estimated time of arrival, miles per gallon, and cost per mile. Plus, 5 memories to store mileage points with unique audio alarm reminders and more. Test drive one today. Your new car dealer can arrange for a test ride in a Prince onboard computer-equipped car today, or you can contact your local ARA distributor for more information. And if you're not in the market for a 1979 right now, the POBC can be installed in your present car, van, or truck. The Prince onboard computer. There she is. A whole bunch of buttons and numbers. I don't know what it did. I don't know if it worked. Who knows? So, number one, we had a D50 for a work truck and for landscaping in college. We tried. You could kill that thing. We tried you couldn't kill it. Tried to kill it for 6 years. So. Sheeple would not like those sheepskin seat covers. Lots of comments popping up, and I missed some of them getting into some of these articles. Alex said that Plymouth truck was cool back then. Yeah. And they're starting to have a little bit of a comeback, too. Couple more ads, and then we're going to get to some trivia and some new inventory and what else is going on. So, and we had somebody ask about a Magnum. Even though there was not an article on the Magnum, they do have a nice 1-page full color ad on the 1979 Dodge Magnum because it is not your average family car. Really sharp Magnum on there. Our good buddy Robert with the U.S. Hubcap Collectors Associate Facebook page, big Magnum guy. He's got a couple of these cars that are super cool. T-top loaded up Magnum, beautiful full color ad on the Magnum. One more little black and white ad that we want to catch. I almost missed this, but while we're talking about Trans Ams in this issue, thought we'd throw this up there. Who remembers the Macho Trans Am? Anybody remember the Macho Trans Am? Obviously, I remember them because I see them pop up on all the Trans Am pages and stuff I'm on all the time. So, number one, Magnum, the car not even Richard Petty can sell. I thought the Magnums were a pretty cool car, actually. They were kind of a luxury coupe, but I thought they were a pretty neat car. Big job. I said we legalize making authentic sheeple seat covers. The Macho Trans Am for 1979. This is a really little dinky type ad. I mean, almost literally didn't even see it. It's so small. Right down here in the little black and white print for the Macho Trans Am, there was a dealer group that made these. They made a couple of hundred of them. They do pop up from time to time. And they are a very unique piece. They did have some handling additions, things like that, some performance additions, some handling suspension type components that made them handle a little better. Branded as the Macho TA. It did say Macho TA along the bottom rocker here. It had a different stripe on the front of it. Macho TA, was there a Macho Z? I don't think there was a Macho Z. And like I said, these were a dealer option. There was a dealership that did these. Mecum Pontiac in Arizona is who did the Macho TAs. Mecum, M-E-C-H-A-M, not like Mecum Auctions, which is M-E-C-U-M. It's M-E-C-H-A-M. I think Mecum Pontiac, I think is what it was. Yes, right. That's right, Des. The dealer was in Arizona. Glendale, Arizona. Alec doesn't remember it at all. X-Ray says they were fast. Like I said, but there again, I'm fairly well entrenched in the Trans Am world, and if you're not, a lot of people really don't know about them. Like I said, it was a dealer deal, so it wasn't a factory Pontiac deal. But they, the Trans Am at that point was about the only thing that had any sort of performance left. So they spiffed them up a little bit, put some better suspension on them, and helped them out a little bit as well. X-Ray Dean says they were fast, so. But there again, almost couldn't there again, there's the 2-page spread where it's at, and that ad was right down in here in this one little tiny spot. Even this is a different ad. Just this one little blurb out of all this is where the Macho Trans Am ad popped up. Almost missed it. And that will pretty much get us for the December 1978 issue of Motor Trend with the 79 Trans Am on the front cover. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Tony actually remembers that dealer from back in the mid-70s. So was that what it was called? Mecum Pontiac? Was that how they pronounced it, Tony? Because I don't remember if it was Mecum, M-E-C-H-A-M. Since you live there, maybe you remember some old commercials or something. But there is the December 1978 issue of Motor Trend for what was going on at that time. A lot of cool stuff in there, that technology that they were starting on. And then, and we've seen the results of today. Number one, maybe there were an idea after the Can-Am couldn't fill orders. They were 455s, right? Pontiac quit making 455s in 76. 76 was the last year for a Pontiac 455. In 77, everything was either a 400 Pontiac or a 403 olds in Trans Ams up until they came out with a 301 and 80, I think. But 79 would have still been a 400 or a 403. But the Macho Trans Am was a dealer deal. That Mecum Pontiac did those. The Can-Ams were done by ASC, I believe, because Jim Wangers was heavily involved in that project. The reason they couldn't fill the Can-Am orders was because the Grand Prix was too popular. They were using Grand Prix dashes in the Can-Ams. Pontiac was selling so many Grand Prix that they didn't want to let the parts go to this outside firm making this special run of cars for them. So that's why they only got so much stuff to work with. That was part of the problem with Can-Am production. So, but I do love the Can-Ams. I know where there's one at. If I can get the guy to sell it to me, because I do like those Can-Ams. That's right. Big Job says kind of like Nicky Chevrolet, Landy Dodge. Exactly. Exact same type of deal. Alec thought it was a cool magazine. Tony says that was it. Tony says Mecum Pontiac. So thanks, Tony. I appreciate you clearing that up for me. Mecum Pontiac is how it was pronounced. That did those, built those Macho TAs. David W, Kenny, Tweedly D, everybody dug the magazine tonight. Good. I worry sometimes that, whether we're going to find enough cool stuff that, to make it work. And once he saw a Can-Am El Camino, I've never seen that. Big Job thought it was good. So, like I said, we try to mix it up. I personally love the stuff from the late 70s. I need to get some magazine into the 80s now a little bit as well. Bill, was that the same? No, that's what we just said. It's actually spelled different than Mecum, Bill. The dealership was M-E-C-H-A-M, pronounced Mecum, was the Pontiac deal that made the Macho TA. So lots of great feedback. Zach says, great magazine, you scum bum. Which I really can't fault any of you guys for the Smokey and the Bandit quotes, because I would do the same thing if it were me, because it's such a great movie, and I remember all the quotes just like you guys do. That's why it's so iconic. That's why to this day, that's why there were some black Trans Ams pushing $200,000 at Indy, because that movie was so good and everybody loves it. You guys are getting thirsty. That's right. Big Job and Jason says we're getting thirsty. But to this day, it's great. My 78 is blue. It's a Marty Blue car, but the first Trans Am that I bought when I was in high school was a wrecked Marty Blue that I was always going to fix. Never did get it fixed. Then I ended up wrecking it. I left the racetrack one night and was driving it to town, and the car, there was somebody in front of me hauling a car in from the races with no trailer lights at about 30 miles an hour. The speed limit was 55. So I sped up to about 55, 60 heading into town, and all of a sudden there's a trailer with no trailer lights right in front of me going about 25 miles an hour. So I did veer to miss it, but it clipped the front corner of the car and took the front suspension out of it. I just spun into the ditch, but it took that car out. So the first one that I ever had was a Marty Blue 78. I still got the body out at the yard. So I've always loved the Marty Blue 78s. When I had the opportunity to buy the car that I've got, being a one family-owned car that's been here in Great Bend its entire life, super excited to have it, even though it was not a black 78. Dad's car is black. Dad's 78 is black. Mine's Marty Blue, so... Yeah, you guys couldn't close an umbrella. That's right. So there's the Motor Trend. There's the Great Camaro book advertised in the Motor Trend. My original copy from back in the early 80s from when I was a kid. So that's right. Big Job. Rest in peace, Jackie and Bert, two outstanding actors. Jackie Gleason and his, improv with that movie. Just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Plus, it covers all the bases. You got a Trans Am doing burnouts for no reason. You got a super cool KW. You got a load of beer. You got Sally Fields. And, along with Burt Reynolds, you got Jerry Reed, who came out with an amazing soundtrack. Love the entire soundtrack of Smokey and the Bandit. So just kind of the perfect mix of everything. So who's ready to play a little trivia? That's right. Rest in peace, Jerry Reed, as well. Absolutely. Let's play a little trivia. Now, we are going to kind of go back to the way we've done it in the past. After the 10,000 subscriber deal, we kind of let everybody play. And then even last week, I didn't count anybody out. But number one did win last week, so we're going to put you out number one. We got to keep it spread around a little bit, and then you'll be back in next week. So this week, we're going to give away another can. This is a Anco windshield washer antifreeze concentrate can. This is a metal can, a tall, skinny can with the Anco windshield washer concentrate. Brown and yellow can. So anyway, let's see what we got. We are going to put this on a timer. As usual, I'm going to give you 90 seconds because I don't want to sit here for 5 minutes as everybody goes through videos. Either you're going to get it or you're not going to get it. We're not just sit here and let everybody sort through videos trying to find it. So we are going to give 90 seconds as soon as I finish asking the question. I'll keep an eye on both formats for the correct answer. This was a YouTube video from last week. And here we go. Tonight's trivia question. On the parts I bought from my buddy's place, there was a box of airflow parts. Obviously, there were a lot of different airflows. What kind of airflow were those parts for? We are on 90 seconds. What kind of airflow was that box of parts for? Keep an eye on both formats. Jason says Little Red Express is his dream truck. Little Red Expresses are great trucks, really coming up in the collector world. I think they're a neat little truck, too. And if I remember correctly, they actually had 360s in them. So they were a neat truck, definitely. And they were actually a pretty quick, for the time, a pretty quick deal. Charles actually just bought one, so that's great. A few guesses coming in, but nothing right yet. What were those airflow parts for? I got the make. We've got the make, but I don't have a year on it. I need the year and the make on it. I'm keeping an eye on both of them. What were they for specifically, year and make? David W. got it. 37 Chrysler. That's right. David W. is our winner tonight. He got Chrysler, then he got the 37. So David W. is our winner on the Anco can. Rusty Nails has a 79 Little Red Express. So Zach was close to with 36 Chrysler, but it was a 37 Chrysler. You had to be paying attention. There was just one box for a couple seconds. You can see it was marked 37 Chrysler. So Zach was close, but David got both of them. So anyway, appreciate everybody playing. As always, we have a lot of fun with that. And we'll get that out for David. So anyway, new inventory. Obviously, I was gone most of the week. I did pick one car up on Wednesday. That's right. Big Job said there was a lot of stuff in that video. So many items, and there is. And I'm not done yet. I still got to get back out there and get more stuff. I did pick up a 1956 Buick Special on Monday before I took off, so we'll be getting you some content on that car as well. Just a basic four-door. Guy sent me one picture of it, and it was about a little over an hour away. I didn't know if I wanted to go after it because in the picture it was just there was no motor or tranny in it, no hood, the grills, the bumpers. Only on the front end was the front fenders, and it was a four-door. So I didn't know if I wanted to go get it or not, but I went ahead and went after it, and actually got there and was pleasantly surprised that all that stuff was in the it was in the back inside the car. The grill, the bumpers, the hood ornament. The hood wasn't, but the hood ornament was there. So a lot more there than what met the eye. I was glad I went and got it. Number one said it's always going to be what about the 64 Galaxy lightweight. Yeah, that was a good. That would have been. There was a lot of good a lot of good specs on that car too that would have been good, but the airflow was tricky. So, yep, David W. snagged it. So, but anyway, we'll get you some content on that 1956 Buick Special here soon as well. New videos. What else is coming up? Obviously, I got some stuff at Auburn Cord Duesenberg. I've still got one Mustang video I need to show you. Got maybe a surprise video for tomorrow night that's tied to Mecum this weekend, so you might want to stay tuned for that. We'll show you a little more detail about what happened at Mecum and some other things that we kind of tipped you off on maybe on the other video the other night. So you probably want to stay tuned in for tomorrow night. We'll sneak that one out, I think, probably tomorrow night. Like I said, so many more cars that we haven't even showed you yet. I haven't showed you the 9C1 Caprice Cop car, the 75 442, of course, the 56 Special, the 66 Mustang. Tony's got to jump off. So lots of cool stuff. We'll have the video for the rest of the story from Mecum that we kind of maybe tipped you off to on Friday night. We'll probably throw that one up tomorrow night, and then Wednesday night, like I said, maybe Auburn Cord Duesenberg, maybe the Mustang. We'll see what happens. Friday night, like I said, I will be at Rocky Mountain Race Week Friday night block party Friday night. So I'll either have something ready and throw it up, or we may feed you some lives from there. Depends on what you guys want to see. Alex is another great show. Have a great week. So if you guys want to see live from the block party, let me know. If not, I'll probably have a video throw up, and I'll just kick it off sometime Friday evening, or I can bring you live stuff from the block party. Sunday night next week, we'll try to do something live. Depends on what's going on at the track. I'm not going to promise anything, but I will try to bring you something live from the track next Sunday night. It'll obviously be a shortened version since I won't be here and won't actually have an episode built. And then all of the following week is going to be race week content. So we will do Toy Tuesday this Tuesday live. Still haven't showed you the stuff from the Hutch Swap Meet. Brought a whole nother box of cool stuff from Auburn Cord Duesenberg back. We're going to share some of that stuff with you. So we'll at least try to get the cans from Hutch Swap Meet done Tuesday night, so we don't continue getting further behind on stuff for Toy Tuesday. So that's right, Brian Dispatch. Don't forget the 66 Caprice. I wrote the check for it, so I better not forget it. I've already paid for it. I wrote the check for it 3 months ago, so I probably better go get the thing out of the guy's garage one of these days. Mark's still not a fan of the four-door Corvette, so Lee wants to see the block party live. So we'll probably try to do that. Maybe it depends on how things are going. Hopefully by 6 or by 6, I don't know, probably won't be right at 7. We'll shoot for around 7, maybe 6:30, maybe 7:30. But we'll try to do the block party live. Lee wants to see the block party live. So Big Job says just loves all the videos. But we'll try to do some live stuff from the blog party, and then obviously a lot of race week stuff the following week, and then back on a normal schedule the following week after that. How's Dad doing? Just, still hobbling around. He did okay at Mecum all week. We got around all week okay at Mecum. He had to use a scooter at the auction. There's no way he could walk that much, but he got around okay with a scooter, and he could get up, move around when he needed to. So that's where he's at with his ankle situation as of right now. So anyway, that being said, we're going to start moving towards the wrap up because that always takes a few minutes, which is fine because that means you guys are still on here participating and playing along. So Pete, get Alex and Dennis to come on sometime during race week. I'm sure we can probably get that. I don't think that would be a problem. Like I said, they're great family friends anytime they're in town, even like last year at race week after everything was said and done. We all went to lunch with the Taylors because they're great people. We're good friends with them. Shayla and Debbie are great friends, and they're just great people. So we can see if we'll talk to them and see. Of course, if the 55's running good and they're not working on it all the time, I bet we can do that. If they have problems with the 55, then I'm sure it's going to be tough. But I'll see if we can get Dennis on. Maybe we can get him on Friday night with us for a little bit, if nothing else, and see what they have to say. So. But they're great people, love them to death, great family friends, and can't wait to see them next week. Alex and Dennis Taylor, be sure to check out Riding with Alex Taylor. She's got a great channel as well. Her sister Meg helped her out with a lot of that stuff, and they do a lot of cool things on there as well. So Kenny's definitely down for the block party live. Raffle, that's right. Oh yes, who's in? That's right. We skipped that Tweedledee. Let's get that real quick. I missed that. Raffle, who paid me this week for the raffle before we bail out? Let's see. Who's in? Thanks, Tweedledee. Thanks for throwing that out there because I did miss that. I have it written down and I missed it. For the Studebaker Nose, July 3rd, we're going to give this away. We're going to ship this to somebody for their own personal collection. Who's in real quick? Norma is in. Tweedledee is in. Alec is in. Lee Carr is in. Mike Barger is in. Zach Thompson is in. David Woodcox is in. Yep, so Tweedledee, I've got your check. So that's who's in. Thanks for bringing that up. I missed that. I just seen we were going pretty long, and I was trying to wrap up, and I just ended up skipping over. So thanks for that. Real quick, Norma, Tweedledee, Alec Blanchett, Lee Carr, Michael Barger, Zach Thompson, and David Woodcox are the payments I got last week. All those names are right now in the big Buick oil can. You can see them right down there. Everybody that I read off, your names are in there right now. No, I'm glad you brought it up, Tweedledee, because I spaced it off. So you guys are in. William Disk is going to jump in after the show. What's the copper-colored model on the shelf behind me? Oh, maybe like up over here? That's a red Fire Chief car. I think that's what we're talking about. If it's this one, blow the dust off of it. That's a red tin Ford Fire Chief car. I think that's the one you're talking about. Let me know if that's not, Jeff. X-Ray Dean says block party live. Big Job says hit the like. Let's see. Pete says, okay, thanks for the great show. Okay, looks like we're all caught up on comments for the time being. Now we'll get ready to wrap up. Now that Tweedledee caught me back on track for the Studebaker Nose, epic piece, iconic piece. You can hang it anywhere, and everybody's going to know what it is. Be sure to get in. Kenny says, thanks for the good show. Appreciate it. Any other comments? Be sure to throw them up there. We'll try to catch them as we get ready to wind this thing down. Okay, that was it, says Jeff. Okay, perfect. It's filthy, but it's dusty. It's been up there a while, but this actually does have the ones where had the interior kind of painted to look like an interior, but it was actually a flat piece of metal. Kind of funny. So, anyway, that ought to catch us for tonight. As always, I super appreciate you guys swinging by, hanging out. Zach says he's down for the block party. Now, Zach, if That will be, if I do that live, that's going to be a YouTube only deal, Zach. So I don't know if you're on with us on YouTube as well, but that will be a live YouTube feed. So if you guys are on Facebook, please remember that will be a live YouTube feed, 7-ish, depending on how things go. I'm working very closely with the city on that deal. I basically, Matt lives in Colorado, so I'm working with the city on putting all that together. And then I text or call Matt, run all that by him, or call him and put him on speakerphone during the meetings. So I know I'm going to be very busy with that, but we will absolutely try to feed you some live content from the block party Friday night. So glad you guys want to see some of that. Hopefully we have some great cars down there. Hopefully have a great turnout. Definitely excited about it. Definitely looking forward to it. We'll see if we can catch Alex and Dennis while we're there. And be sure to check out the Riding with Alex Taylor channel as well if you haven't at this point. So anyway, that's what's happening. We'll see you all Tuesday night. We'll got some more great content coming up. Stay tuned for tomorrow night. It's going to be exciting. Okay, Zach's on both. Perfect. That works great. Tomorrow night's going to be interesting. So you won't want to miss that. Other cool comment coming. And we are also going to do some Live Toy Tuesday. We'll catch some other videos up this week. Live block party feed, hopefully Friday night. We'll hopefully bring you some live from the track next Sunday night. Can't wait for Rocky Mountain Race Week. Hope to see a few of you out there. I know I'm going to see Nate. He's going to be rolling with us. Hope some more of you are going to be out there. Brian Dispatch wants to see the block party as well. So lots of people want to see the block party. We'll definitely try to bring some content with what's going on down there. Thanks for watching, everybody. I super appreciate you spending your entire Sunday evening at this point with me. You guys are what makes this thing what it is. Stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and it's going to be a fun summer. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'll keep an eye on comments for a few more seconds as we wrap up here. Let's see. Okay, Bill's coming up to get a truck, looking maybe towards the end of June. Perfect. And with that, we'll call it a night. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you telling your friends, bring them over. I appreciate your support in the auctions to help this thing out financially. I appreciate super chats. I appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks for everything you guys bring to this show and make it what it is. I'm going to jump off, wrap up a few more things yet tonight. Bud says he truly enjoys it. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. Tell your friends about us. Invite them over. If they're car gurus and they like hanging out with us, let them know about us. That's what this thing is about. We've got such an awesome group of people on here, and that's because of what you guys make it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you live Tuesday night at Toy Tuesday. We'll see you hopefully live Friday night from the block party. We got a lot of things coming up. I hope to see some of you out on race week. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you soon.